Good afternoon. Good afternoon. What is up, everybody? What is up? We are back with episode 19. And you know, me and Mac is always the first two on here, and it never fails. It never fails. But good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. And I'm happy to have episode 19, man. The NBA, man. The NBA.
Oh man,
How
like
how you
I know as soon as we get talking, they're gonna pop up on here. But yeah,
yeah, but
yeah. Last
you
night,
know, good afternoon, brother. What's going
there he
on?
is. There's that. What's up, brother?
I I think he tried to get his audio together.
Yo, yo.
Yeah, we are officially all here. What's up, y'all? How y'all feel about
What's going on?
the games last night before we get into anything? Especially you, Max. I want you to recap your bets, man. I want you to recap the things. What happened last night?
Oh man, so shocker. Not really. I mean, I think the bets that I had from yesterday were more long shot than anything. Two of them came close. Like what was it? I'm trying to find the bets now.
Because I was like, because I know people was in the chat when I was doing the Knicks game, and it was like, oh, Kyle Lowry got to get me 6.5 points, and I was like, oh man, because you know Kyle Lowry played terrible last night. He played bad last night.
Yeah, I don't think I played points on Kyle Lowry last night. Yeah, so on the one bet that I have, Kevin Love, with all the missed 3-pointers, and then Randall, with the points and rebounds was 30, and Kevin Love points and rebounds was 12. That didn't come through on the one bet. I don't know. That's not the bet. I think it's LeBron James over 5 assists, well over 6 assists, and Stephen Curry with three pointers. That's the other bet that didn't come through. Like I mean, I think we all thought Curry was going to go out there and he was going to shoot, and
I mean, he was shooting, but he wasn't just. It wasn't falling for the three. The mid range was falling for him, but the three wasn't.
What's his percentage this series? What's been his percentage from three this series? I think it's been kind of low for his career, I guess, as comparison to last series and probably for the season. I don't know if he's been hitting that many threes, honestly.
Rebounds, man. Both by half a rebound for Bam and Julius. Like half a rebound. That's tough.
Yeah.
You said a half a rebound or
half a
just
rebound.
a 0.5. He missed it by 0.5. If that 0.5 could be very tricky.
8 rebounds, he got 8 rebounds. If it would have been 7, he got 7. It's that little half that got me. So my fault, guys. You know, like I said, I personally like the long shot bets. That's why I give it to you. I mean, I'm giving you some of the higher points, I guess you'd say.
Okay, so we definitely going to have some, some bets for today's games as well.
Most of the bets I'm going to give you, I unless I say this is a for sure lock, it's a gamble like anything.
Right.
I mean, if you put $20 on something and it makes you $200, that's a great day.
So just make sure y'all here for that segment where we, break down the two games today, as far as bets and predictions wise. But we're gonna get into last night's games because I want to talk about those. Knicks, man, they finally found some fight in them. 112-103, and the Knicks played really well. They played really well. They started, I guess, when they got that big lead, it looked like it was like really no coming back. But Miami was missing some wide open shots too. That was there. But if you want to look at the box score and everything, Randall had 24, Brunson had 38, Barrett had 26, which is according to the league, that's their big three. Which I don't consider them a big three, but That's their three that they had to come through. So the Knicks were shooting 49.3% from the field overall, but they was 70. They was from 3-pointer. They were 38%. No, overall they was my bad. Over free throws they was 75%. Okay,
Yeah.
it was almost 75% for the field from free throws, and it was 49% from the field with the Knicks.
Hold on, I need to correct myself. So I was looking at Barrett's rebounds. I got mistaken. John Randall had 5 rebounds, not 7. Just I was off on that one.
Because Randall had 5 rebounds. Yeah, he had 5 rebounds. He had 5 assists.
I was looking at Barrett rebounds when I was like, yeah, he was half one off, and now I'm looking at it. I just wanted to catch my mistake.
So what happened in this game? Why do you think Miami could not close out this series? Like, what did y'all see? So when I say what I saw, so what did y'all see last night is the reason why Miami could not close this out.
I mean, you got a mixture of Brunson and the Garden pushing them, like versus. I mean, Miami was just missing shots. Had they make 4 or 5 of those key shots, we're talking about a completely different game. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. Like they were at home, they played good. Brunson played great, and I'm not going to say he initially willed them to the win, but he damn sure pushed.
Yeah. 48 minutes, 38 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. He shot 40% from 3, 54 from the field with 1 turnover, and 48 minutes.
That's crucial.
A hell of a game.
And they got out and run. Too.
That's one thing that they jumped out to 2 big. I want to just note that they jumped out to 2 big leads in the first, 18-2. And in the third quarter, they jumped out on them 23-7, like 2 big runs. They just couldn't. Miami just couldn't shake back. They out rebounded them last night. D-Hop, that was a big thing you talked about. The first game, they couldn't rebound. 50-34, they out rebounded them. Miami fouled 30 times last night. They had 30.
Yeah, that's not typical of a Miami team. They to be fouling excessively. Honestly,
they let Mitchell Robinson hit 4 for 6 from the field. He kind of
if it wasn't for foul trouble, he was burning them up last night.
Now I'm gonna say this though about the whole Mitchell Robinson thing. When the Miami Heat was trying to come back, right? I did not understand the logic of trying to foul Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah,
yes, I understand the first 2 times. Yes,
you play the averages,
but the first 2 times I can understand because he can't shoot foul shots. But it just gave him more confidence. Keep going to the line. You gonna keep following me? I'm gonna make these foul shots. That's just what it was. And it was smart of Thibodeau to take Mitchell Robinson out before they did it again. So I thought that was kind of a turning point of Thibodeau finally being smart as a head coach when it comes to, because Thibodeau has a history of being dumb when it comes to coaching. When it comes to
I think he's more stubborn than anything.
Yeah, I was about to say hard-headed.
He's a little bit more stubborn. I think he makes strategical moves based on what he wants out there on the court, but it can be a little bit hard-headed and bullish sometimes when it's just like you're banging your head against the wall. You might want to switch it up a little bit.
And another thing too, we was able to see a full game from RJ Barrett. Yeah. That was another thing too, because we all see through this series that RJ Barrett was able to be hot in the first half and be ghost in the second in this whole series. But in the second half, RJ Barrett played good basketball and he ended up with 26, if I'm not mistaken.
26 and 7.
He played a full game yesterday. When they needed a bucket, they actually went to RJ or Brunson or Randall, either one of them. The shots was just falling for New York yesterday. They was falling for him.
What do y'all think about Grimes?
Grimes had a solid game all around. I wouldn't say because 8 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. That is an all around.
He's solid.
They
because Josh Hart got in foul trouble.
And now imagine what was it? Early in the fourth quarter when he hurt his leg.
Yeah.
And he still played out. So special shout out.
Yeah, him and Brunson are the only Knicks since Walt Frazier and Jerry West to play the whole 48 minutes. Grimes and Brunson.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest with you. If you think you could take Brunson out, Miami's gonna take
Oh, you
advantage
know,
of that.
Brunson. But I feel like they could have got something from D Rose, like something. They could have got something.
No,
I don't
he's
know
been
what is
sitting on
this
the bench too
agitation.
long, bro.
What is
He
this
has been
advocate stuff
something.
for Derrick Rose getting in the game? The man is.
he's been sitting on the bench way too long, bro.
I
He's been
understand
sitting on
he's been
that
sitting on
bench
the
But
way
bench
too
way
long.
it
too
seemed
long.
like they
But,
had
but
3
let's be
other
honest though.
active
If you
players that never touched the floor.
But
Hey,
we seen, but this is where Ed just
that's
said
Tibbs. That's
Thibodeau is
Tibbs.
stubborn in
Yeah.
this
Tibbs.
situation.
Yeah,
He's
that's Tibbs.
stubborn because if you look at all the other teams in the playoffs, they're trying out other players that
Yeah.
barely play.
They're playing
With
10 guys.
Thibodeau, he would never do. He will never. I don't understand why he won't play Derrick Rose. Like you had Derrick Rose in Chicago, I understand before the injury and all that stuff, but Emmanuel
See,
quickly is out.
Derrick
So
Rose
for
is
me,
shot,
I
bro.
think you should put
I
in
think
D
he's
Rose
shot,
over
bro.
McBride, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Well,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
McBride
saying.
only played 30 seconds though. He didn't even really get in.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know what I
Well,
mean?
he in game 3 he had what was it? Game 4 he had more minutes because Emmanuel quickly was hurt, but
Yeah.
he didn't do nothing either. So if I'm Thibodeau and I see 2 games that McBride played when Emmanuel quickly know that you could get 8 off the bench from Emmanuel, 8 to 10 points from quickly, I'm going to put in Derrick Rose. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
McBride was just a filler. If you look at it,
See,
he was
I
just a
think that
filler.
being as though that's still a little bit deeper down the roster for real. So it's like
Yeah, it is.
Tibbs is only gonna play about 9 guys anyway. You still got Evan Fournier on the bench that people have been advocating to get in. I think him and Derrick Rose, he just been sitting on the bench too long. Honestly,
Fournier got sick on them last night.
man,
He
bro,
was sick.
he's terrible. I like he's been shot all season. He hasn't played. Even his Derrick Rose, like they've been out of the rotation
I
for
just think
months now.
Fournier. I think offensively he could give you a
Yeah.
few like 2 3-pointers or
I
something
think
like that.
Yeah, he
And
gave
he
you
give you
6
too.
some
points.
points instead of McBride giving you donut.
2016.
See, but McBride plays defense. I'm telling you that as far as Thibodeau goes, that is a main sticking point. If you're not going to get out there and guard, he's not trying to run too many gimmicky defenses to try to hide anybody. He wants people that's out there
Which
to
I
be solid.
agree, but with
Right.
when Miami went on that run and the Knicks couldn't find a basket, who you was gonna find a basket from? When Brunson was missing, Randall was missing, and Barrett was missing, and Miami went on a run, you couldn't find nobody else to score the basketball. And Josh Hart, he had three fouls in the first quarter.
I think they're using Topman completely wrong. Like I say, they have to get out and run. They need to get out and run more. I think they're too busy trying to be in the half court with slowing things down for Randall. And I know Brunson is a good half court player, but if they get out and run, get out in transition, even the secondary break would be cool. But they have to play. They got to play these young guys and let them get out and run, bro. What how many fast break points they had last night?
So I can find out right now. I actually have it up right here. So the fast break points.
What was the fast break total?
It was only 16-9. 16 fast break points.
Yeah, it was. And the crazy thing is, it was 16 when I said it was 16. It was still like third quarter left. It kind of got bogged down in the fourth. You feel me? As it goes, but shit, 16-9. You beat this Miami team on a break. Like that's where you can get them because you get that's an advantage of 7 points. What did they win by? Like, come on, that's huge. You get out. You can get out ahead of the break, and you know what I mean. Not have to play against a set defense in Miami, then that can really help them because the Knicks can get bogged down a little bit in the half court.
Right. So, like you said though, like 30-19. That's that for fouls. Some of them fouls was like good calls. Some was like,
I mean, but see, this is
it's the playoffs. Let it play out.
But man, I love Jimmy Butler, but he gets a lot of bullshit fouls at home, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like he gets some calls at home. So last night it was like, because they play solid defense. Y'all a better defensive team. Some of that stuff y'all just know better. Like you just
That's the thing with Tibbs. Tibbs,
I know
especially
that.
his tendencies.
I know that,
so it's
but
like, come on.
It was a whole third quarter that I think that the Miami Heat did not go to the foul line.
That's what I want to
in
talk
that whole
about.
Third quarter, and they was getting fouled like crazy in that third quarter.
Was crazy. That third quarter.
Yeah.
Was crazy.
I'm like, the whistle was going directly to New York in that whole third quarter. Like, you could not. I don't even think they attempted a foul shot in the third quarter.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was 0 for 3 in the third. Bam was 1 for 2 with 0 rebounds in the third. Larry 0 for 2. Kevin Love 1 for 4. The highest scorer in the third quarter was Caleb Martin with 9 points. Like they was I don't know, they was out of it. They missed 21 of their first 25 threes. Like they was just out of it last night, bro.
The one thing about Miami, I was kind of surprised of their careless of the basketball.
Yeah.
They don't usually turn the ball over like that, and they was turning the ball over a lot. Ill-advised turnovers. It wasn't just the Knicks was playing good defense, but it was some possessions where it went off the leg, or they just lost the ball. Like
they got killed on the backboard
body
too.
language.
Yeah, 50
I don't know if they were like, okay,
they got
we
killed
gonna
on
go
the
to game
backboard
6
too.
and go to Miami and win it in Miami. Like I don't know if they just sat back or whatever. Because if you look at Jimmy Butler in that fourth, he just didn't look like the Jimmy Butler that we knew all playoffs.
They both of the teams that were up 3-1 did the same thing. They both came up with the same mentality. Like, if we can get this game, then cool. But we have the luxury of going back home, so it was like, you know what I mean? You go into cruise control.
12 shots the whole game.
Yeah,
for me,
they tried to win it, but
if I'm Miami, listen, if I was Miami or the Lakers, I would have had a different mindset to just going back home and just winning. I'm like, fuck, I'm ending it tonight.
Exactly.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, especially when you have, especially the opponents that's waiting on the other side, possibly that's waiting on the other side, possibly. I think both teams would have did well by winning the game and being able to rest up. You know what I mean? I think especially the Lakers, because the Denver matchup is an interesting one, but I think it's one that can be had. But Miami really could have used it. You know what I mean? They got a lot of older players that they could have used as far as some rest, for real, honestly. You got Lowry, you got Cody Zeller, you got Jimmy that can be a little bit of, you know what I mean, Kevin Love.
That would have been pivotal for them to have the rest and get ready and see who wins the next series.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
So I just like the mentality going into the game. If you look at how both games started, both home teams got off to a great start. And it was no looking back, for real. I mean, you had the Lakers going to run, you had Miami going their runs, but it was no looking back.
Yeah, once you give up 70 in the first half, speaking on the Lakers, we ain't get there yet, but once you give up too many points in the first half, it's like it's uphill battle from there, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you're fighting the crowd at that point.
Yeah.
Every time you miss, every time they make it,
you fight. Yeah, especially the Knicks are a little bit more finicky than the Knicks fans.
The crowds, you understand how pivotal that can be when like you have all that stress, all the pressure on you, and then on top of that, you're coasting as is. So it's like, what's the point? What was the point? If for all that, in the third quarter, they should have rested James. They should have pulled Anthony. Come on.
I mean, it was relatively close. You know, I think they got it to within like 9. I think they got it within like 9 or 7.
Yeah. The closest was like 7 for me. The closest was like, I think they got it down to
like 7 or something. So it was still
it was 9.
Yeah, I think it was like 9. I think it was 9. It might have just been 9. It may have been 7 at one point, but I think for the most part, it was about a 9 and 10 point lead. So it was like, you're still in it, but then AD gets hurt. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's go ahead and pack it up and get ready for the next game.
That kind of hurt though in that fourth, because I think I was only down like what 10, 12.
We were coming
in the fourth.
The game was within striking distance. Like I said, if we could withstand the initial punch, which we did, and it got down to the point where you get it within like 9 to 10 points. Hey, you just try to ball out. 7-8 minutes left. It was a close competitive game for the most part.
But like Golden State hit the shots that they needed.
That's what I was saying.
And it's something that they haven't been doing. So watching them do that, like, yes, this was a must need. They had to win this game, obviously,
because they played to a draw in the third quarter. They played to a draw in the third quarter, 23 apiece.
Balls to Wiggins. Wiggins deserved it. Wiggins played defense. He played offense. He made his buckets. He made the important shots. Wiggins, I feel like he was the game changer in this. And I'm also going to say Draymond Green. Jesus. It finally.
Oh, yeah. He played pivotal into this game.
In the paint, the man scores in the paint. Thank freaking God. We've been sitting here waiting for this for the last 3 games.
Yeah, those two, they're just not aggressive. That's their main problem. They're not aggressive all the time. So it's like if you're banking on Wiggins and Draymond getting you 45 points, then it's like you're gonna have a tough battle. But hey, they played good. They played great at home, as expected. Honestly, Klay Thompson, another low scoring game. I think that Klay
for him.
He's been struggling. As I said after game one, even though we won, once you get Reeves off of him and get another taller, like-sized defender, he can't create his own shot. It's pretty much coming off of down screens and shit. He can't really create his own shot one-on-one in an isolation situation. You put somebody on him that's like-sized, that's quick of foot, and he gets testing all his shots. He shot 3 for 12, 2 for 6 from 3. He had 10 points. That's been Klay Thompson pretty much this whole entire series. He may have had a few stretches where he's had a couple of little looking like Klay Thompson moments, but he hit some clutch shots. So it's like I can give him that much. You feel me? He hit the one falling out of bounds. That's what I'm saying. They hit a lot of tough shots. It went from freaking 5 to 11 in 2 shots. Like they got blitzed real quick.
So this is what I thought was going to happen in Game 3. I thought they were going to start hitting their shots. They started hitting their shots. Now here's where everything changes. If they go in here to Game 6 and Klay Thompson has a shooting game, you know, Steph Curry has a shooting game, Clay Poole hits a couple, Wiggins has his game. I mean, what's the score then? What's the difference maker then? I mean. Because as we see, like especially if AD doesn't play, now
he's cleared to play already. He's already been cleared to play
already.
Yeah, he's cleared already.
Okay. I was watching all morning.
What was the diagnosis of that though?
It was they thought he had a concussion. He avoided a concussion. He just took a shot to the head.
Absolutely. They showed the videotape of him walking off the court, and he
was a little woozy. He was a little wobbly. In the moment, I mean, obviously, he just got hit.
That they pulled him off and they looked at him and they did a concussion protocol, because that I mean, honestly, that's what should happen when some of these guys hit the floor and some of these guys get whacked, especially when it comes to the head. Like, you know, you need to be careful about that.
Right.
Yeah, because even though he got it was inadvertent, but if you look at lately how these players be hitting their head on the floor when they fall. And stuff like that, that's serious stuff, man. Like, and mind you, they not protected. I see. Football, that's not protected.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is right there. Like, I know, I had concussions playing football. So just imagine me not having a helmet on. I'll probably be knocked out the way I had concussion. That's why I don't play the game no more. So
yeah,
that's just. I don't even care if it's flag. I don't even play flag. I don't do none of that because I just.
Two things kind of stood out from the game as well. I see, you know what I mean. Lonnie Walker came back down to earth as expected. You know what I mean. He's been in and out of the rotation for a reason. His shots been hit or miss. His defense been okay. And again, I think they need to play Dennis Schroeder more. He was the only one positive, plus 14 on the night. Played solid defense, gave 14 points, 6 for 11, 2 for 5 for 3, 4 assists. Solid defense, no turnovers. I think he got a little bit of early foul trouble. Reeves has been struggling a little bit as far as with his defense. I think his offense has been okay, but his defense has been a little bit of a struggle right now, honestly.
So how do you feel about switching? I mean, I understand Vanderbilt is not really a scorer. He's a good defender.
Yeah. I mean, as opposed to Rui, maybe. Rui's defense, even though he can score, his defense is just it's not on the same level as Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is super switchy. He rebounds, he hustles. It's like at the end of the day, you need that when you got LeBron on the court. You need another wing with AD.
I disagree with you to the extent that we seen it last night when Hachimura played against Draymond. Like, they gave Draymond the foul against him, but for what was that, 2 or 3 possessions, he had him. Like he had him.
Yeah, he plays. I mean, that's an easy matchup for him.
It was a good matchup.
It's a good matchup for him. I think that it's not the same as what they're asking Vanderbilt to do, though. Vanderbilt is being asked to guard Steph on the perimeter.
I mean, how can you do that?
No, Hachi can't do that. He can't do it. He's too slow foot. He's too slew of foot on defense. He doesn't navigate screens well. If you look at the tape, he doesn't
Yeah, he's not
navigate
great
screens
on
well.
screen.
And they put him in screen actions the
if he
whole.
goes under screens versus trying to fight over top of them,
But you
that's
can't
more
go.
his game.
But you can't go under in this series though. This the wrong series to want to go under. You got Jordan Poole, you got Clay, you got Steph. He can't go under on none of those screens really. He goes under there bombing away. So that's why I think that somebody like Vanderbilt that's more willing to fight over screen.
Show me consistency. Show
Who,
me
Vanderbilt?
No, I'm talking about from the shooters.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not been consistent because they've been contested. That's just the point. As I've been stating the whole time, it's like they're a good shooting team. They're a great shooting team. But if you can get a solid contest on majority of their shots, they're going to shoot. And I don't care who it is. They're going to shoot. They're going to shoot a lower percentage than shooting wide open shots, clearing free off of screens. And as you see in the stats, in most of the nights, they've been hitting. But the shooting percentage, Steph Curry last night was 3 for 11 from 3. Klay Thompson was 2 for 6. Like they're taking heavily contested shots. They're making some of them, but the majority of the time, they're contested and they're missing. All you got to do is get a solid contest. I think that again, Rui has an issue with navigating screens, and then you have Reeves, who's just too small when it comes to contesting. They're shooting over the top, especially when he had him on Clay.
And I think when you have that rotation with Rui and Austin Reeves is in, I think that's more for scoring. It's not really a defensive move. It's more of a scoring. But Hachimura has been kind of struggling in this series compared to where he was in the Memphis series. But I think he gets going if the Lakers do end up advancing, because you just never know in the NBA these days. So
versus Memphis, because it was a better matchup with him.
Yeah,
he was getting a lot of nice corner looks. And that's preferred.
They were leaving him open. They were leaving him open too. They would
for what reason I don't know, because even if you go back and you watch the tape with the Wizards, that's his shot. If you,
I think they need to play Gabriel more as well too. They need to play Gabriel a little bit more, and Gabriel and spell AD a little bit. As far as I don't like the small lineups as much with Rui and LeBron being your two bigs. I don't really like that too much.
Because LeBron really can't bring the ball up, and you already have your smaller guards bringing the ball up. So you put LeBron in the post, or you take him out on the 3-point line.
Yeah,
that's basically taking LeBron kind of out the game in some aspect, depending on how the setup is.
The floor is space, but it's still like, you know what I mean. You need that other big in the game for defensive purposes, because if they get past the initial defender, it's almost a layup because there's nobody there to protect the rim, or at least contest. Gabriel at least contest. He may foul. He may be a little foul happy. But I'm just surprised I'm surprised Thompson hasn't played. You can't get a few minutes out of him. Veteran leadership, you know what I mean? He knows where to be. He may not be as fast or as athletic as he was, but he knows the game.
But he can defend and he can protect the basket and get rebounds.
Exactly. He can hit a little mid-range shot. He can play hard.
I mean, but that slows your offense down a
lot.
And that also limits you on transition.
Yeah.
So so from that point, unless you're gonna let him facilitate 30% of the time he comes down the court on the offense, which I'm not saying he can't do, because I mean he's not bad. I'm not gonna say he's a bad passer. He knows how to move the ball when needed to, and then especially with LeBron being on the court, if LeBron was on the court with him, I would feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. Not with him out there by himself, for sure.
Because he can facilitate in the middle. He brings the center out with him towards the 3-point line, and then it's cut and run. Anybody wants to cut and run to the rim, he makes a simple pass, boom. And now granted, it's a few more moving parts than that, but I'm saying it gives you different options you can run with him on the court.
So we have 2 game 6s that's going to be tomorrow as well with these 2 teams, and see if Miami can go out and actually finish the job in Miami, and LA see if they can finish the job in LA. We're going to see those games tomorrow, and I just kind of wish that, if you up 3-1, don't give these teams hope. Don't give these teams hope. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. You want to be comfortable. Okay, we're gonna win it on our home floor. Cool, but that's messing it up for your rest and your body to get back for the conference finals, where you just should have ended and be like, yo, let's get the players together. I don't know what it was because I saw a different Lakers team last night.
Yeah, they
I
played complacent.
Lakers team last night.
They played like they played like there was a tomorrow. The Warriors played like there wasn't a tomorrow, basically.
Right.
I mean, the only thing that upsets me is absolutely you're right. But if you're gonna play like that, and especially the coach, like, pull your players out, pull your main guys out. Then, like, if
I think you just don't want to wave the white flag. I think that's just more so the thing. You don't want to seem like you're waving the white flag. Honestly, until it gets out of hand.
When they were 16 points down, that's when they should have done it. That's when they should have done it because
the largest lead was 18.
Uphill fight.
Yeah,
and then I mean, come on. Even when you had 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, you knew it was over.
I think that again, as you can see, our defense stepped up in the second half. Our offense just went to shit. Honestly, this game, our offense wasn't clicking outside of the second quarter. We had 23 points.
Like it was no movement of the basketball in that second half. Honestly, it just felt like everybody was just stagnant. They stayed at the three. Nobody was cutting. You know how usually with basketball, I understand everybody want to sit at the three. You want to live and die by the three. We all know that. But when you dribble, drive in, and you drop it to the basket, kicking it out, and you able to swing the ball, that's what I'm used to the Lakers doing. That's what I'm used to Miami Heat doing. And they didn't do that yesterday.
Yeah. They played complacent as hell. They did. They played like it was tomorrow. Like they have another game to play.
We're going back home and we're going to win the game on home floor instead of being dominant and be like, listen, we're going to beat y'all on your home floor and get ready for the conference finals. That's the mentality that I want in an elimination game. And I really hope my Philadelphia 76ers have that mentality because we're home compared to the other two teams. We're home.
It's 3-2 though. So it's like you better win this home game.
Exactly.
You better win this home game. If they got to go in Boston, no, they don't want to go to Boston.
I mean, we won 2 in Boston, so it's possible, but I don't want to go back to Boston.
That's what. Yeah, Game 7 would be spicy in Boston. You know they can get real spicy out there.
Well, Max, you feeling confident over there now?
The Warriors have given me confidence.
Oh man,
the Warriors have given me confidence. Because if the Warriors can get out of their shooting slump, then maybe the pressure cooker is what the Boston Celtics need. Maybe they needed to be in the pressure cooker to really have to show who they are.
I mean, they both shot the same percentage from 3, 37%. They were 13 for 35. I mean, shit, it was a good game. It was a good game.
It's not really for me, Mac, and we're going to get into the Sixers game right now, speaking of that. So we're going to get into it right now then. Speaking of that, so I don't really think it's really Tatum and Brown is the two that we really talk about when it comes to the Boston Celtics. It's the rest.
Yes, it's Horford, it's Smart, it's White, it's Brogdon. It's how can you get all of the moving parts working in one direction?
Yeah, So
that's the big thing. Like, who's going to lead this offense? Who's like? When is it going to take charge and say, this is what we're doing? We're going to run this. We're going to run this. We're going to call these plays and continuously move the ball. Not just run back and forth up and down the court and say, fuck it. Like, I mean, come on now. I know you have your quick action plays. Every team usually has 5 to 10 where they can call up a play as you're moving in transition. Everybody knows what's going on, even if it's a quick play or a 15-second play. I mean, every team has plays, and it's like if you haven't gotten that down and you don't sit here and figure out like, okay, these are the matchups we're looking for. Switch, rotate, run the play. And if they get high percentage shots, and maybe, I mean, we're talking about a real good game.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
Listen, I just feel like Maxey and Tobias Harris. I'm calling you two out again.
Yeah.
Because this is the game that we really need you to step up. We know Joel Embiid is going to be Joel Embiid. We know this already. No matter win, lose, or draw, Joel Embiid is going to be Joel Embiid. He's going to get the numbers that he gets, regardless. Yeah.
But same with Harden, honestly.
James
but
Harden,
Maxey and Tobias,
Yes, Maxey and Tobias have to do
I
their
think
job.
as long
Let's
as
say on
Tobias
the
remains
rebounding
aggressive,
side of things.
yeah, Tobias has to stay aggressive on the backboard as far as rebounding. You know what I mean, and just being aggressive and looking for a shot out there. No matter what the play is, no matter what play is called, he can take the initiative to be aggressive because 9 to 10 he's going to have a favorable matchup. So it's like you have to
Right.
take advantage of it.
I think the Celtics have to either completely shut down and try to double Harden and shut him down from half court on, or double Maxey and literally make him have to fight for every little thing he gets. And I understand it's not exactly the best defensive matchups for us as
Yeah.
far as Boston, but I mean, you got to take one or the other away to really.
I think if y'all get heavily aggressive into doubling Embiid, maybe I think y'all if y'all just make it a game where Embiid won't kill you and
I don't think that's going like bro, Embiid is at home. He's gonna get the calls. You're not
Yeah.
gonna be able to beat Embiid. Let Embiid eat all he wants in the paint and try to kill him on transition with 3-pointers and good shots. That's
But,
I mean,
my thing is this though. Even if you try to double Embiid, Embiid has learned to know how to kick the ball to the
who are
open
we
person
doubling?
when he's in double teams. He has learned that this past year. His
Yeah.
assist has gotten better this year because he's learning how to kick it out during double teams instead of forcing it. So
yeah,
if you kick it out if you double team Embiid, that means you need Tobias or Maxey or even a PJ Tucker in the corner. You know sometimes he's going to make that shot, but he's going to try to get it to the most open person outside of that double team. So
I think they really have to pick and choose what they want to leave open.
I would rather force Embiid to shoot a semi-bad shot than leave James Harden open at the 3. Leaving Maxey open at the 3.
I mean,
regardless,
Horford's been solid.
They can drive in also. So it's a double threat. You got a guy who could possibly hit this on you every single time, but he's going to get a 2. That's 2 points. Contest, don't foul. Give him his 2 points or go for the rebound. But I mean, as far as you're talking about, I eliminate the 3-point shot. Eliminate the 3-point shot. Let Horford go 1-on-1 with Embiid in the paint. If he can stop him, great. If not, then keep it moving.
I think
so
that's
this random question here from Anthony Price. He says, even though AD is playing Friday with a head injury, do you take a chance and limit his minutes or play him the whole game?
Hell no, because we don't want to go back to Golden State. So no. That's an easy answer. No. If he can play and he's healthy, you play him the whole game. If he's willing, if he's healthy and willing, you play him the whole game. This is the game. This is game 7. It's game 6, but this is game 7. You have to beat this team at home. You do not want to go back to Golden State and play against that crowd. You just don't want to do that. You have to beat this team at home. You have to finish the deal. Job not finished. Kobe said it. You got to finish the deal right now. You got to. You can't go back home. You can't go back to Golden State. It's not fortuitous. Honestly, they're probably not going to win that game. And I'm a Lakers fan.
Unless he's out there on the court wincing and staggering, or you know what I mean, something's physically wrong with him, or mentally
like
wrong.
Visually, like if you can see it, then but
absolutely get him off the court.
Play it.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. Let's worry about the man's health. But I mean, other than that, I mean, I don't think he would be on limited minutes, because if he was going to be on limited minutes and they were that worried about it, come on,
they shouldn't play him at all if that's the case.
They're not going to play him. Like you're not going to put hundreds of millions of dollars at risk, because that's exactly what you're doing if you let him hit the floor, especially if there's something wrong with his head.
Yeah,
it's for me. Previously having head injuries, I get it.
Yeah,
I know this is basketball, and I got mine through football, but I just want to make sure. I'll just really hope they make sure that he's good by the time you get on the floor, because when you have head injuries and them bright lights come on, you can feel the dizziness, you can feel lightheaded. I just want to know when. Let him sit. Let him get out on that floor. Let him get out on the floor pregame. Get on that floor pregame. Shoot some shots. Be under the light. See how his head feel, and then go from there. That's just how I will, be precautious about it. If he's good in pregame and shoot arounds and stuff like that, let it fly.
I want to combat the kind of narrative that's been out as far as him being soft. I don't think that he's soft. I think he's more injury prone than soft. I think a lot of players they get that confused. A lot of people get that confused. I think soft
Yeah, I
people
don't think
or
he's soft. I just think he's made of
soft play.
glass.
Yeah, soft players. So I think soft players are just ones that are actively avoiding contact. That's
Right.
somebody that's soft. They're
DeAndre Ayton
not
to me is
trying.
that.
They're not trying. Carl Anthony Towns, for example, like they're actively trying to not get in the mix. Every time you look, AD's in the mix. He's either jumping around multiple bodies. He's falling on the ground. You feel me? It's not that he's not in the mix. So I think that people have that confused as far as him being injury prone versus soft. He is, like you said, he's made of glass. He's more susceptible to injury than anybody. But I don't think that we can call him soft, as if he's like that he's trying to avoid contact. He doesn't want to be hurt. I like as many times as he's been hurt and he keeps jumping around multiple bodies and just throwing his body around. I think that you just can't call him soft. He's more injury prone than anything.
I see. I don't never call him soft. I just think he's just made of glass. Like I said, like I just think like when it comes to injuries, I'm like, God damn, another injury.
Right, he get injured. Yeah,
damn.
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I say the same thing about Joel Embiid too. God damn, another injury.
But you can't call him soft though. Every time you turn around, they banging bodies.
Soft, but another injury like Embiid, come on.
Yeah. Bro. What's up with your diet? What's up with your workout plan? That was AD's problem last year because he had a lot of soft tissue issues. He had a lot of soft tissue injury, hamstrings, pulling stuff like that. Like that comes more into your diet and your workout. You know what I mean? So it's like. It's a given, but I just I feel like certain players get that narrative like, oh, he's soft, they're soft, and it's like, no, they're not soft. They're just more so like susceptible to injury.
That one too,
Zion. Zion, you can't call him soft, but you can say he's more susceptible to injury though.
Yes, made of glass.
Because of the way he plays, he has a lot of soft tissues because his weight is a problem. That's why he pulls a lot of muscles and shit. He had that one injury to his knee. Yeah. Hello, you need to stop eating that New Orleans food.
That Louisiana gumbo can get you right, man. Listen,
the gumbo and beignets,
and I see why Zion looked the way he looks. You can eat that shit 24/7 in New Orleans with that gumbo. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you, like I was down there for a whole week, and I can say at least 4 out of the 7 days I had Louisiana gumbo or jambalaya. That's how addictive it is, and how the seasoning and everything. So I get it, Zion, but you got to get back on the floor. You got to help this Pelicans team out, man. You got to help them out.
I think it's more so his willingness to want to get back on the floor. He seems like I don't think he wants to play there anymore.
As somebody who broke their ankle, I snapped my ankle in 3 places. With that first time you take that step, you're scared.
Yeah.
The 100th time you take that step, you're scared. So I'm glad he didn't come out and do something he was uncomfortable with and possibly re-injure himself. But the main thing is you want him healthy mentally. You want him knowing he can plant that foot and he can move and rotate. And that to me is the bigger issue. Once he's healthy, like fully mentally and physically, it's gonna come together again, and he's gonna be Zion. But like I said, I'm glad they didn't try to rush him and push him out there in the playoffs. I know they wanted him back. I know he wanted to be back in a way. You can tell by the interviews, but he just wasn't confident. And
what about CP3? How y'all think about CP3? Because he's already been ruled out for this game.
Yeah, he's been ruled out. And then I looked at it and I was like, wait. DeAndre Ayton has an injury report for what? What have you been doing?
His pride is hurt. Jock Landale has been objectively outplaying him.
Rib contusion for DeAndre Ayton. You gotta be kidding me.
I didn't see. I'm trying to figure out where the tape at of him getting hit in the ribs. Honestly, he's getting tired of getting beat up. That's all it is.
Or just Nicole, or just Jokic is just throwing his shoulder into the ribs, I guess.
Took his lunch. He's taking his lunch money. He is completely just made him just like I say, Jock Landale has objectively outplayed AD. And he's played better. They played better with him.
They took the cookie jar, man. They got it. It's over. It's a wrap. I honestly I just don't even see, even with them being at home. Too many people are going to have to step up and play great.
My problem with Denver is this, though. Like, because Denver haven't won a game in Phoenix this series. So
No.
I feel like I got a feeling that Phoenix is going to force a game 7. I just have this feeling. I feel like they're going to force a game 7 because Denver. If you look at the game that Denver was in Phoenix, there was a totally complete basketball team than what they are at home. Completely different. Their scheme, their philosophy, their strategy is totally different. If they could bring what they board out at home and bring it to Phoenix, then I say the Suns are done.
Yeah, the Nuggets
have to score 30. Booker's going to have to score 30. Cameron Payne's going to have to step up. I'm not really a big fan of a Koji. I just think he's just out there for defense, in my opinion.
I think the third quarter is going to dictate this game.
Yeah. How they come out at halftime.
Whoever takes over in the third quarter and runs to the fourth is going to run away with this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to come out. It's all about what happens in that third quarter for real.
I don't see it coming down to like it's going to be over 5-point spread. I just don't see it being a real close game. Either the Suns are going to win this damn game or the Nuggets are going to win this damn game.
So before we make our predictions for tonight's game, I have a question because I've been seeing this a lot in the playoffs, and I've been seeing this a lot in the NBA. A lot of rolled ankles. Now I came up in an era where you wore high tops because you didn't want to roll that ankle. We see a lot of players wearing low tops, even though they get taped.
Yeah,
but they wear these low top sneakers. I understand it might be lighter weight, but I mean, Steph Curry, he wears them sometimes, but he's with Under Armour.
No, Steph Curry,
high tops as well.
He knows better. He's learned.
Curry knows better. He wears 2 ankle braces when he plays. He wears 2 ankle braces when he plays.
He knows better by now. He's learned.
He knows.
He's learned. He got ankles made of glass, so he knows.
He knows. But is this starting to be a thing where we need to start to suggest it? Because I used to work for Nike. Okay, so I know the backstory of a sneaker being made because that's what we had to be taught when we first got into training of learning Nike. But when it comes to these sneaker brands, if you Adidas, Under Armour, even with Kawhi Leonard with New Balance, and these other brands that you have, is it time to at least make a sneaker that's light, just like a low top, but have a high top sneaker at this point? I think it's time.
I think it's more so just the players. The players have gotten bigger, stronger, faster, and it's just a lot of they're flying around a lot more, and it's like they're just more susceptible to landing on somebody's foot or rolling the ankle, running. Yeah, too many, and it's repetitive motions, honestly, because basketball is a lot of repetitive steps, a lot of the same movement. So you're stressing on those tendons. So it could be something as simple as just a plant wrong, and you just tear your damn ankle up. You see what happened to LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball, all he did was just step wrong, and he broke his whole damn ankle. That's just repetitive stuff and he had on some, I think it was quarter length or mid top Pumas or something like that. His Pumas aren't too low. The LaMelo Ball ones, they're pretty high. They cover the ankle, if anything. I don't think he had.
I didn't even know he was wearing Puma. I thought he was wearing Nike.
No, he was wearing the Puma. He was wearing the Puma shits, and I think like you say, I don't think they have to go out there wearing Chuck Taylors or wearing some Air Force Ones like Rasheed Wallace was doing. But the high top
Air Force Ones was high tops though.
But they were more pop. I think the shoes have been more position oriented as well, because you got high tops. That's more for a big man because he doesn't plan on turning his ankle. He not making like sharp cuts on his feet. He more so planting his feet solidly and wanting to go with a move. So it's like like the Duncans. Duncans had some big boat looking shoes and shit because he had big feet. He ain't plotting around on the court.
But if you want to go back like that, look at what when Kobe used to wear low tops until he tore his Achilles, and then he brought them high tops in, and he still was balling with those high tops. Even though I had a pair of those high tops, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they was pretty dope as a fashion statement as well. But it
took a major injury for him to do that though.
Right.
He was more quarter length the whole time. The Crazy Eights, the initial Adidas from the Kobe's that he had initially.
Tops, though.
Yeah, they were relatively high. They covered his ankle, so it's like as long as
so when you tied it, you be good.
Yeah,
so like, I think I'm not asking for a whole high top, but like a mid.
Yeah, a nice mid.
Like a nice mid that I think NBA players need to look at, because when Kyrie was with Nike, they made his sneaker, and then this is just knowledge that I know from working at Nike. I wish they could have kept me because they underpaid the shit out of me, and knowing that's $1 billion company at the end of the day. But another story for another time for that. They did tell you, like when we get sneakers in, and you'll see that every time you see that card, like if you get a Jordan card or you get a sneaker that has a card in it, it actually tells you the story about the sneaker, and it tells you how they made the sneaker according to Kyrie Irving's foot, or how the traction was, or how he played. They made the sneaker to how he played and make sure that. Only thing I didn't like about Kyrie's because it was narrow, because I have a wide foot, so I had a pair of Kyrie's and it just didn't work out for me. But it's more for people that has a slick, narrow foot. So the tractions on the bottom of it is the grip of what's made how Kyrie Irving plays his game as a guard. And then it has a story behind it on why the design was made. So Nike does take it into some consideration on what the player wants as well. But at the same time, these players need to understand, like, if you're going to keep rolling your ankles with these low top sneakers, you're going to be out.
You're going to be out.
I will say this. The one person who's come out with steadily high top is LeBron and Jordan. LeBron and Jordan.
He had on a low top yesterday and twisted his foot. He had a low top on yesterday.
Because he's having foot problems. That's why he's been wearing those quarter the quarter ones, because it's like he needs something that's not as heavy on his feet. He has to play lighter on his feet because he's playing with them heavy ass shoes and he having foot problems. It's too much of a strain on his feet, honestly.
Yeah, he did bring back those classic LeBrons that I had a pair of. I forgot. I think it was the LeBron 2s, if I'm not mistaken. I think he brought back the LeBron 2.
Whoever is the LeBron 12.
Yeah.
I still got 2 pairs of them.
See, see with me, because I don't play basketball anymore, so I don't really get if I get basketball sneakers, the only basketball sneaker I probably get is Jordans. They're the only ones I probably will get right now. Because I'm more of like I'm not in a I wouldn't say fashion world, but I would say, like, when it comes to like sneakers, I'm very selective of what I get, because like my foot is like small but it's wide. So I'm really selective on certain, and LeBron James are narrow too. The LeBron James 2s, when I had those, when I say my pinky toe was killing me because they were so narrow, bro, I couldn't wear them no more. I had to end up selling them. Only wore them once, and I end up selling them because LeBron foot is so slim and so narrow. I can't wear it. So LeBron's, I can't wear.
Yeah, Giannis has some pretty narrow shoes too. The base of them is kind of narrow. It's more so the stuff that they're doing on the bottom of the shoe, because the platform of it can be wide, but the bottom is a lot narrow between the rubber sole and the shit like that. The design they want to put on the bottom, and I think that's a problem too with roll ankles. A lot of the shoes don't have a wide enough base. Like I seen Spider Mitchell, he had some Adidas that came out about 2-3 years ago, and the base is really wide on them. The bottom part, like the outer edges of them, is really wide. So it's like he has more space to land his foot. Now you have these slim, narrow shoes. It's like your shoe didn't get narrow at the base. It's like you're way more susceptible to turning your ankle, rolling your ankle, and no shit. Your foot rolling right over.
Right.
I mean, we'll see here, like a lot. I'm not gonna say all or even most, but I'd say probably about 50% of basketball shoes you can order them from Nike in a double E width.
Yeah, you can.
I've had to do a couple times, and the one pair of LeBron 12s that I have, that's why they're my favorite.
Or you can get them custom, or you could buy the sneaker and get them customized as well to fix to fix the width of the shoe. You could do that as well too on the Nike website.
Yeah, Nike's pretty good with their customization as far as their stuff. They're really good.
They are, and being in Nike and learning the backstory of a sneaker, it makes me value the sneaker more. So when I buy like a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 11, and I don't know if anybody has the sneaker app. If you do, if you have the sneaker app, if you ever go look at a sneaker on there that says upcoming, it tells you like a whole paragraph of what the reasoning of the design was made, why it was made. So like if you hear like Jordan 11 and you hear Laney is with the high school that Jordan went to, and that was the colors that they used based off the high school that he went to. That's the backstory of it. But people don't want to go into that. They just like, oh, the shoe is fire, I'm just going to get it. Boom. But hey, that's just me. I just like the understanding of where the retro sneaker comes from. especially even with LeBron James sneakers, even though like he has some weird colors like Kobe did too, but it's a backstory of why those weird colors are there. So, hey, so Boston 76ers. Mac, is Boston coming back home for good, or they going back home for a game 7?
Boston forces. I believe Boston forces game 7.
Okay.
Oh, because yesterday or the day before, he was like, man, this is over. Congratulations to the 76ers. You was out of it, bro.
I was. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I was pissed off at Boston. You know what I mean? Like to back-to-back games to just drop it.
Yeah. And especially at home.
To feel like exactly, and it was like
especially
at home we're supposed to tie like get this is supposed to be we're supposed to be up so we can finish this out, and then to see us drop the ball.
Yeah,
and like,
especially
I
home.
feel like I said, I feel like everybody's gonna step up. I feel like they're gonna take a lot of good shots, and they're gonna make their shots. And if that happens, I mean, I'm not going to bet against the Boston like I bet against the Warriors. I wanted the Warriors to win last night. I wanted the Warriors to win, but I
knew the Warriors were going to win last night, but I feel like
they were
going to end the series though.
The suggestion I made yesterday, I said
they were just going to, like I said, I thought we were going to see vintage LeBron. I thought they were going to come to play to shut this out, to get a couple more days rest until it was time to play again. And that's what I was looking forward to. But the Warriors said, hell no, not tonight. Not tonight. And I said, and I got a feeling that Boston's gonna come in the 76ers house and they're gonna take the cookies, man. I just got that feeling.
Yeah, I think Boston can I think they're gonna come out firing. Obviously they're gonna come out uber aggressive. If Philly comes out lackadaisical, which we know that James Harden and Embiid can do sometimes, it's like if they come out a little too lackadaisical, then they're going to lose this game, and then they're going to turn around and lose game 7 as well. They cannot go back to Boston. If it gets back to Boston, it's a wrap. If it gets back to Boston, it's a wrap. I don't see them making it out of Boston.
If the Celtics can keep the crowd out of it, it's 100% their game to win.
Because that crowd will turn on them. Same as like what New York will sometimes, but that Philly crowd will turn on Philly real quick.
Oh, they
will turn on them.
Boston crowd booed them.
They will turn.
Sixers crowd is listen. They don't care for booing. They'll cuss you out.
Yeah, they'll cuss you out.
Yeah, you'll hear F-bombs and A-bombs.
You'll hear it. You'll hear it the whole time.
Actually hear it.
Yeah. And I've never been to a Philly game, but I've seen it on TV. The shit looks very intense. It looks very intense. It looks very like you don't want to be there on the wrong side, no matter who you are. They don't care.
I took even though my father's an Eagles fan, I took my dad to an Eagles game. And when unfortunately, I forgot what year it was, but it was a home opener against y'all Baltimore Ravens in Philadelphia. And when I tell you, those Eagles fans, they don't care if they at the last seat at the top of the stadium. They are cussing down at the Philadelphia Eagles so badly. It was just nasty. My dad was like, these fans is really. My dad's an Eagles fan. He talk his shit when he's at the comfort of his own home. Because my dad, he's a little old now, so I'm like, he can't really hang with them Philly fans actually at the stadium. So I've been to Phillies games when they was like that. Flyers games, they're like that.
Yeah, Philly fans are unrelenting. Philly fans are very unrelenting. They are very unforgiving. They do not accept mediocrity. They will call it out instantly. They are very aggressive. So I keep coming back to the fact that they snowballed Santa Claus. They were so pissed off in the game. Santa came out and they just pelted the shit out of Santa. This is supposed to be Kris Kringle, the man of gifts, and they just pelted the hell out of this man with snowballs. They had to get him out of there with security. Philly fans have had a history. They have a history of not giving a shit. So I can see they have to
biggest playoff game in 20 years, man.
Yes.
So
they have to win this game.
Come out and play the way the 76ers play.
Same as LA.
And smart and run.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do, man. And I like the Sixers taking it home tonight, but it's not going to be sweet.
If
It's not
by
going to
the
be like
second
Game 5.
quarter they don't have it in the high gear, I
Yeah.
just I don't see the 76ers winning this.
I just
They need to kick
this-
it in
if the
high
Sixers-
gear early, and they need to hit often shots, which means
well, we seen that in Game 4 where Boston was making their shots, but the Sixers came back from a big deficit to force that overtime. So we've seen it before, like that. Like the Sixers can come back, but my only thing is, don't get comfortable. Don't get like
the Sixers
Miami,
are a really
don't get
switching
like the
team.
Lakers, because the Lakers wasn't home and Miami was not home. You
They
are
both
home in an elimination game.
Yeah, they're both really
Get it
highly
done.
susceptible to that. They try to flip the switch too much between Philly and LA. They really try to we can flip the switch at any time and just turn it up. And it's like you can't do that against these great teams.
Yes.
You're down to the final. We're down to the final 8, working on the final 4. You cannot do that against these great teams. These great teams will put your ass out of the playoffs. You will be home.
Yeah,
you will be home. Steph Curry will come out there and shoot the lights out. He does not matter if it's in LA, Utah, if it's in Zimbabwe. He will come out there. If you disrespect him, he will shoot the damn lights out. He will shoot the lights out, and you will be going home sad. You will be at home sad. And them Lakers fans, they start the game at 7 o'clock, nice and early, so they can have their little time afterwards. Them damn Lakers fans will be pissed off for the rest of the night, going into the night if they don't show up. I'm a Lakers fan.
To come with a mindset that
same thing.
We're out for blood. That's the mindset.
I
want the Sixers to come
out. You gotta be out for blood, bro. So, these two teams are very susceptible to getting blown out right now.
Yeah,
they're both very susceptible of getting blown out in these games, even though they're at home. They have to win these home games. You have to hold court at home.
Absolutely.
This is again. Just like last night, it was the Lakers game to lose, and the Lakers lost it. It's the 76ers game to lose.
Yep.
I just don't want us coming out, and Boston is like on fire. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta for us to win this game, we gonna have to counter everything Boston do. We gonna have to counter. It's like counter punching in boxing. I have to counter.
Wrong. I think you guys need to play your game. Don't worry about Boston. If you guys continuously play your game, play through Embiid. When Embiid isn't there, then play through Maxey, play through Harden. Do work your 1, 2, 3, and get pass out to your Tobias.
Yeah,
or we can go with this too.
Pass out Melton. I expect Melton to get at least a couple good shots tonight.
Yeah. Or we could go through this. If people have not noticed, James Harden mid-range has been better than his 3-point shooting. I think he needs to shoot that mid-range a little bit more. I think they're because they so expected for him to do the step back to the 3.
Yeah, he trusts that too much.
That mid-range all day.
He trusts his step back in his shot just a little too much. He's just shooting it from 3. It doesn't matter the contest or anything. He gets a little bit of daylight and he's just shooting it. I think if he uses his body more and just get it to the mid post in the elbow region and just, work his magic from there, they can't double him right there.
Right.
Because Embiid's there. They can't, it will be, and he's too good of a passer for him to be doubled in that area. If he gets in that area, let Maxey run a little bit. If he has to get into the habit of playing off ball more, that's James Harden's main problem. He's gotten completely away from that in his game. He used to have that early in his game when he first got to Houston and when he was still at OKC. He completely left the off-ball game alone. If he just passes it and stands on the half court
for no 30+ minutes a game.
Yeah, hey, that's James Harden. He's not in shape.
Dude. That's not his game anymore.
But Dante Robert said that he needs to go to the hole more. Yes, I understand that. I understand he needs to go to the basket more. But if you don't have that option to go to the basket and that mid-range is right there, he's clutch. He has been shooting better from the mid-range than shooting from the 3.
Yeah.
So you got to take what the defense is giving you. You don't want to force between 3 people to go to the basket. You don't want to force that. So you get what the defense is giving you at that time. You're going to have to take it.
Absolutely. But I think sometimes with Harden, it's like the confidence he gets from a mid-range shot is like, okay. But when he hits that 3, you can
you can see it. He's starting to rise up. Yeah. He starts to get a little. Yeah.
Three, whether he bangs another three or he goes in for a two, whether he goes into the paint to the cup. I mean, regardless, it builds a lot of confidence in Harden.
Right.
That 3-point shot, and that's why I don't want him to veer away from that. That is something that he excels at, because once he hits that confidence boost, we've all seen it, especially in this series. If he doesn't get that confidence, how does he play? Nah. But he gets that confidence, all of a sudden, Harden becomes James fucking Harden. Yeah. And I think that is the true difference in it. And that's why it's like, hey, shoot the three. Shoot the three when you feel comfortable, because it can only help you.
Shit, we know you want him to jack and just keep shooting that motherfucker. If he keeps shooting it the way he's been shooting it in the majority of these games, they're going to probably end up losing. He's got to get downhill. He's got to get downhill, yes. work the downhill magic with him and Harden, and spray out to the shooters. You gotta get Tucker hitting those corner threes. You gotta get Tobias able to get some clean looks off of closeouts and shit like that. It can't be that they're just spotting up in the corner and he's just not, you know what I mean? He's just standing out top dead.
I'm talking about when he's got 6 feet, when he gets up towards the 3-point shot and he's got that 6-foot gap and they're playing low. Man, if
just shoot it.
Comfortable, pull that trigger. And I'm saying this is a James Harden fan, not necessarily. I don't care, win, lose, whatever. Right. As a James Harden fan, you want to see the best for guys that you rooted for, and I've rooted for him most of his career. So, in that token, like, yeah, I want to see him take good shots. I want to see him build his confidence. I want to see him play his game, and that's part of his game. And he's one of the best. I don't like. Yeah, he might not be Steph Curry, but we all know James Harden from doing what? That step back shot, whether it be mid range or 6 feet past the 3-point line.
And last game, I think, has been the recipe for success. Is that I think he just needs to limit his number of attempts, take quality attempts. He only took 8 shots last game. He only took 8 shots last game. He was 1 for 2 from 3.
He was being smart with the basketball. He wasn't turning it over.
Right. He doesn't have to overly shoot. He doesn't
take what the defense give him.
Take the smart shots, because those step back contested threes have not been hitting as much as he outside of the first game that he went nuclear for 40, and the other game where he had about 30, 40. It's like, bro, get into that mid range, like you say, get downhill, facilitate. They need his facilitation more, because the other players feed off of that a little bit better. You feel me? They besides Maxey, who else can create a shot?
Yeah, right. No, I understand what you're saying. Like I said, I'm just talking about the good shots that he feels comfortable with when they play off of him sometimes.
Yeah.
That's I already know.
I like those confidence building shots. Now, as far as him taking good shots and getting downhill, absolutely. If they play,
I would love for James Harden to get downhill, but the Boston Celtics is a good defense that knows how to deny that.
This is true.
They know how to deny that. So Dante Rogers, you have to understand, like, when it comes to James Harden, right? He doesn't have the bounce that he used to as a younger guy, and you can see that from when he was in Houston and now he was here. When he used to extend his Euro step, when he used to actually get up, he don't have a bounce no more. So now you don't want him to force it going to the basket. Now, if you have a one-on-one matchup and you could get past the person, then I see that. But if you're driving and you see one person's right next to you on your hip, then you got 2 people trying to get in there, don't force it. Go look for the next player that's open, or you're going to drive, step back, mid-range. They can't guard it. They have not able to guard the mid-range the whole season. I mean, the whole series from Boston. They're not able to guard it. So you're going to drive, step back for the mid-range, shoot it. You got to take what the defense is giving you.
I mean, I feel like depending on the matchup with Harden, I feel like he could get a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
If they get the right matchup and he drives and it be exactly what you said. Step up. Even one of the. I mean, I understand. Personally, I kind of hate that shit. But if he wanted to, he'd do that.
He gets away with it.
He's a great free throw shooter, so it's like he should lean more into that. He should lean more into trying to get fouls. He's a great free throw shooter.
He's gonna get the foul.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna whack him. Somebody's gonna whack him eventually.
And like you see, as you can see in the 2 games they lost, it's just the shot selection. 3 for 14 in game 4, and in game 3 he was 2 for 14. So it's like 0 for 6 from 3, 2 for 7 from 3. Like he has to take quality shots. You just have to take quality shots. Take quality shots. Take the shots that are open, and just like you say, just try to. He has to just get into his own rhythm. He has to get into better shape overall going forward, so he can consistently keep it up. He hasn't been in shape since he first got to Houston. In my eyes, he hasn't been in shape in years. He's been out of shape. He's looked better than what he looked in Brooklyn.
He gets to play the minutes that he played. He's out of shape. I don't get it.
He's walking the whole game. That's how he's taking his goddamn time. He probably plays. He probably.
And that's
LeBron's 38 years old. And he plays faster than him. LeBron's 38 years old. LeBron plays way faster than James Harden. Absolutely. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's not even close. And that's bad. That's bad. You have somebody 38 years old outrunning you and shit. Like, bro, Al Horford's running faster than him. Al Horford's beating him up the court. James Harden has to get out of that shit. You got to stop eating all that food. He was in Houston. Now you're in Philly eating all this good food and shit. Bro, you got to get it together. He has to take more pride in his body.
So, Mac got bossed. Ed got bossed. I'm taking my 76ers to win tonight. So, Nuggets, Suns. Let's talk about it. Do the Suns force a game 7? Mac doesn't think so. Mac thinks it's done tonight.
I think it's too much. Even if they're on home court, I feel like this is just the Suns are going to have to do too much to win this game. And I feel like the fact that they're going to have to do so much is it's just they're going to force too many shots. They're going to try to force defense. I just feel like by the second, third quarter, it's going to be a runaway by the Nuggets. Because, I mean, they had great chemistry at home. They're going to come in here, and I feel like they're going to hit more big shots than they miss. And that's going to be the difference of this game.
I personally want to see if the Suns – I want to see if the role players for the Nuggets can continue their same – can they play good on the road? Because they have it. The Suns –
Audio went out, brother. So while he's trying to fix his audio, I think the Suns force a game 7. Denver Nuggets will win the series, though. Denver Nuggets. I got the Nuggets winning the series.
Yeah, can they make it interesting tonight? That's the thing. Can they make it interesting tonight or not? Yeah, can the Suns make it interesting and force this out? But even still, they go to Denver, they're going to lose at Denver. The role players play too good at home. They do. The two Browns, Braun and Brown, they play great at home. KCP finds his shot at home. Michael Porter Jr. shoots lights out at home. Mm-hmm. Aaron Gordon gets out in transition. He runs better at home. And you got Murray, who's just been. He's been kind of up and down this series. He was cooking last series, but this series has been a little bit more up and down. But Joker is just, he's the constant, consistent thing. So it's like, if they can get just even a minimum amount of production from their role players on the road, then I think they can take it on in Phoenix.
I mean, for me, I'm going to say this, and this sounds funny. I'm going to say Denver's defense is what changes this. Because, like I said, they only have to shut down one of two players.
Yeah.
That's it. They shut down Durant or they try to shut down Booker.
They have less players to worry about. Because Ross, even though Ross has been coming in scoring a little bit, Payne has been giving you some scoring punch a little bit in certain spurts, and just increasing the pace of play. Huh?
That's what they're going to need. They're going to need at least two people to score 30 points.
Yeah, and they're going to need
Denver loss.
Yeah.
The Suns out-rebounded Denver and got on a transition more than Denver. Right. So if you want to win this game, if you're the Phoenix Suns,
they have to get out in transition.
Rebound, and you have to get out and run because Jokic cannot get back on defense.
Yeah, he can't. He just can't.
4-5 in transition majority of the time, or 2-on-3.
They got to clean up the backboard too. They got to, and that comes back to Ayton. Ayton has to find something. If he needs to go in a dark room like Aaron Rodgers did, take the psychedelic mushrooms or some shit, he has to find his inner self some way, somehow to just be like, I cannot keep letting this European dude dog me out. He has been dogging him. He's been dogging him. And I can't let the Aussie on my team.
You have to outrun.
He has to run the floor. They have to look for him too. I've seen a nice compilation of videos of Ayton running the floor and him not getting the ball. So they have to look for him more in transition because he's running the floor, but he has to do it more consistently so they can just throw him the ball. Like this, you see AD do it a lot. He just rim run, run to the rim, front, post up, front the player up. You know what I mean? Get him up the lane, throw it over the top, layup. Like he has to get into the habit of just doing that more. Just beating the defense before you trying to run a play, before the defense gets set. Just get out and run. He cannot. Jokic cannot keep up with him.
It's a mentality, though. You have to be the person to go to your team and say, "Look, I want to go 20-20." Might sound crazy, but that I want to go 20-20. I'm gonna get 20 rebounds, and y'all give me 20 shots. Watch what happens. Like he got to be like, but that's having a dog. You got to be a dog. You got to be somebody. Not only am I gonna go get that for you, I'm gonna make it work.
But I'm gonna make it happen.
You know, what I mean? like it don't have to be just you. Let's lean on me on this game. I know I got a complete opening. Feed me in the paint all night long.
Yeah,
because he just on 2001 Shaq
with Ayton staying in foul trouble against Jokic. I think that kind of like takes away from it too.
He's got to stop making stupid fouls.
He's going to get every call. He's going to get every call if he's down the block against Ayton.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's a little, but that's the same thing. If the Suns want to win, right? Stop playing straight D up with him.
Yeah, you can't do that. You have to double team him. You got to.
That man is 2 points.
You got to double team this guy
and then press him.
I mean, you could do that.
Press him.
I think
fast and moving and getting around Jokic, then fine. When he gets in close, don't foul him. Don't give him an extra point. Let him shoot. Put your hand up. Let him shoot. All right. If he misses, great. Get the rebound.
We see it all NBA players. No matter if you have your hands up like this, if you give a person body contact, they're going to call it.
The problem with guarding Jokic is that he has a great pump fake. I'll give him that. He has a great pump fake and he can shoot. Ayton has been caught in too many positions of not closing out hard enough, but he's just been getting beat off the dribble, and that shouldn't happen. If anything, if he's going to shoot over the top or if he's going to post you up and overpower you, that's one thing. He should not be getting beat off the dribble by Jokic. That's just not. It should not be happening. He's beating him with the first step on the pump fake every time, and if he's not closing out hard enough, he's just shooting it. He's not closing out hard enough because he's too scared of getting beat off the dribble, which shouldn't be happening. He should be up on him, up in his face when he's on the perimeter, and they need to double team him when he's on the block. Make somebody else beat you. You have to. You almost have to at this point because he's had multiple games where he's just been dogging him. He can't play him one-on-one. Jock Landale has been a little bit better, but Ayton cannot guard him one-on-one.
Yeah.
He can't. He just can't.
Feel like you see more of a dog of least of trying in Landale do you do in DeAndre Ayton. You see effort.
At this point, how do you not make the switch?
The switch should have been made by like game 3.
I think you make the switch, you lose Ayton though. You lose him. You lose him if you make the switch. You have to play Biyombo. You're not gonna be able to play Ayton.
All right, but at least Biyombo's gonna give you a
I'll play Biyombo before I play Ayton any day on the defensive side.
I mean,
rebounds.
You know, but the problem with that is
lobs to Biyombo.
The problem with that is that they would just pack the paint. They would just pack the paint because Biyombo's not a stretch. He's not stretching the floor. They would blitz the double team. They would blitz the screens. They would just double team out high, and they would make Biyombo make a play in like the pocket pass position. And that's not really his game. So it's like, what do? They're going to double team. They're going to double team Booker and KD out high if Biyombo's in the game. They're just going to. Biyombo is going to be stuck in the dunker spot or at the free throw line, and he's just going to have to try to make a decision.
Well, let's be honest here. No matter if Booker and KD still gets double teamed, DeAndre Ayton ain't coming through.
He's not. He's not.
So,
he's not. He's not. I think it's just the fact that the court's a little bit more spread because you at least have to respect Ayton's jump shot. You have to respect it to a certain degree. He's been hitting it. He just hasn't been taking enough of them. But he can hit the little mid-range free throw jump shot. So that kind of frees up, that kind of spaces up the floor a little bit for them. But like you say, it's at this point you almost have to try anything. You almost have to try anything at this point.
Play all
For
your
them.
big men at this point.
Play all your big men. You play them all. Exactly. You play them. You double team this guy.
This is desperation for the Suns. Like if you
rebound
want to go back,
rebound and kick out, and just put Devin Booker and Durant
What
out
the hell?
the perimeter.
What the hell happened to Damon Lee? What happened to Damon Lee? He led the league in 3-point percentage. What happened to him? He doesn't even play anymore.
shout out to Damian Lee because it's a little backstory I have with that. I used to he used to play basketball at Drexel University, where I used to be one of the security guards there back in like 2015. And I remember the year that he actually tore his ACL and he missed his whole senior year. And then he decided to transfer to Louisville. And that's how he was able to, mind you, the way he got through the NBA, he played in the G League. He was on so many teams, but he found his way when he was with the Golden State Warriors for all those years. And now he's with the Phoenix Suns. But just a little backstory. Like I used to see him all the time. I used to scan his ID to come in because he was a student at Drexel. And I used to work in the security booth. We used to talk all the time. But hey, salute to you, guy, because I know you came a long way. You had 2 ACL injuries.
Yeah.
And all that.
But they should play him more.
He needs to be in the game earlier. He's a shooter.
He's a shooter. They have to play. They need to space the floor. I like Shamet. I like Shamet. Shamet has a little bit more off the bounce than him, and his defense is a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess he tries harder on defense. The Shamet Murray matchup when he's been in the game, Murray's been going right at him. It's like he's been relentlessly. They've been talking shit to each other and all that. He had a little spicy moment last game where he kind of grabbed him by his neck. So it was like, it's a little spicy between them two. So you just have to mix it up at this point. You need more people out on the court that can spread the floor and that can just open up the driving lanes for KD and Booker. Because if the paint is packed, they just don't. They're settling on mid-range shots. They're settling for threes, and it's just not working.
So I'm taking the Suns to force a game 7 tonight. It's going to be a close game, but I got the Suns taking.
I got Denver.
You got Denver.
I got Denver.
Denver closed them out. Optimistic here.
Yeah.
I just know that Denver haven't won a game in Phoenix all series. So
true.
So that's why I'm taking Phoenix. Even though Denver's winning the series, but I have I have the Suns winning tonight. So Mac said it's done. It's over with. He's taking.
I think it's done
because we said that about the Knicks yesterday, and look what happened. I'm just saying. We said that about the Knicks yesterday, and look what happened.
The Knicks have more dog in them. The Knicks have more dog in them than the Suns. The Suns have 2 dogs. The Suns have 2 dogs. At least the Knicks, they're hard hat. They're hard-nosed team. Both coaches are defensive oriented, but I think that at the end of the day, the Knicks have more horses. They have more horses coming off the bench. They have just more competitive, defensively competitive players. So they'll hang their hat on that end. The Suns haven't been a good defensive team all year. They were mediocre when they got KD, and KD's only been there for what? Like he's played more playoff games than regular season games at this point. So it's like we'll see. But I think they're going home. But they don't have to go home because they're already home. I think they just stay home, stay there, clean out your locker room, you get all your shit out. You don't have to worry about it. Take your own nameplate off. Save the janitor some work. You know what I mean? So you ain't gotta go nowhere. You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
This team, whoever wins, it's gonna be who plays the best defense.
Yeah,
to be
absolutely.
Honest. Who plays the better defense against each other? It's gonna be matchups and defense.
Yeah.
And literally that. I mean, Monty Williams.
Every game has been high scoring except for one. Like, every game's been triple digits for each team. Each team has scored at least 105 in every game except for the last game for Phoenix where they had 102. Game 2 was the only game that they both scored under 100. So it's going to be a high scoring affair. Denver's going to come out firing. Even make or miss, KCP and freaking Michael Porter Jr., they've been really just been shooting the lights out at home. So it's like, let's see if it can translate on the road.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Porter had back-to-back good games.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Even in the loss, he had a good game.
He did. I'll give him that. He did.
If he can step up and Gordon can get you a double-double, he gets 10 points, 10 rebounds. And I mean, Jokic put up 30 points.
Yeah.
He's almost guaranteed to.
I can see it being over. Yeah,
Murray,
for sure.
20 points for Murray.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the whole thing
Murray
is
just has to take solid shots, because sometimes I think Murray feels like he's forgotten in the offense, and sometimes he just go rogue and just doesn't pass it, dribble it for 15, 20 seconds, and then shoots it. So it's like he has to get out of that mindset.
Bobby, you always coming over here and just, yo, he does this every time, man.
Hey,
let's go Boston.
You gotta tell his boys to
Let's
fight,
go
man.
Boston.
Your
Yo,
boys
I
gotta
can't,
fight, man.
I can't with you, Bobby, man. But shout out to B-Town Breakdown, man. You gotta come on the show one day, man. I know you be at work, but you gotta come on the show one day. Maybe you gotta come on the show when the Sixers win tonight, so you and Matt can cry together.
No sir. Game 7 back in the Garden.
So speaking of Boston versus Philly, this show is definitely sponsored by Bet Us, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Bet Us is one of the sponsors that I have for the Darion Hopkins Show. Receive 125% sportsbook bonus upon your initial deposit. Use the link to get the special offer, which the link will be in the description for Bet Us. And we have the Boston versus Philly parlay here. So, Mac, if you want to take it away for this game, and why you decide to use these two bets here for these. So tell them how much they need to bet on.
Again, you guys use these bets. They're essentially what I think could possibly happen. And I'm a spicy guy. I like to do outlandish bets. So, you know, like you said, I think I'm one of like 6 in the last couple days. I hit on one of my personal bets. You know, hit me up in my DMs on Facebook, and you know, we can have a conversation. But these are the bets I give you. I mean, you hit, thank me. If not, then you know what I mean. Please don't bet your paycheck on them.
Yeah.
So you got Derek White for 15 points, Brogdon for 15 points, Harris for 15 points. I feel like it's going to be a role player game, and I think we have a good chance for each one of these guys to play a big role in this game.
I'm sorry, I have to put this up here.
Yo, is hilarious. Boston is 7. Philly Boston. Oh man.
That's the conversations that we have on Facebook Messenger will be talking about the series.
Yeah. So I mean, it's plus 1,000. I mean, again, you know, I think I got $10 on this bet. The second bet is the 3-point bet. Obviously, both of these teams like to shoot 3-pointers, and when they hit, they continue to shoot. And that's what I'm betting on. This is going to be a big game in the series, and I'm betting on 3-point shots. Got Brown at 3, Harden at 3, Tatum at 3. It's plus 450. That's not bad. That's not bad, and it's completely obtainable. And they've all 3 done it multiple times in the series. So I'm betting on this big game to pay out.
All right, so that is your bets for the 76ers. So if y'all watching the replay or listening to the replay of this podcast, make sure you screenshot it, make sure you rewind it, write it down, and take your bets here over for the Boston and Philly game 6 here. So now we're going to move over to the Nuggets and the Suns game in game 6. So this is a little bit longer than what the other ones was. So Mac, break it down for us for this game.
So I gave it more of a, I guess you say, it's risky but not too risky of a bet. Now, granted, it's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 6-leg parlay, but all obtainable, and all of these people have done it. Now, the one thing I do think Aiden does a little differently this game is Aiden does go for rebounds. I think Aiden, that is going to be one of his main focal points. Again, I don't personally think he's going to score a double-double because I just don't see him scoring often in the paint. It's not what he's been doing, and I don't have that confidence in him, or I'd put a double-double. But I do see the points going for Booker, Durant, Porter, Gordon, and Bruce Brown, like very obtainable. So it's at a plus 400. That's pretty good. And then same thing. I'm riding with 3-pointers. I feel like, again, high scoring game. These guys are known to hit 3-pointers, and if they hit, they like to keep shooting them. Booker, Murray, and Porter all for 3. It's a plus 500.
So you know what? I might have to take a little bet on this game here. I might have to come back and get the matter of fact, I got the screenshot. So yeah, I see I might have to use this and see what happens tonight. I see I'm kind of nervous to get back into betting for real. I'm kind of nervous to get back because I know it can be addicting sometimes. But I'm probably going to try it tonight. But for anybody that's watching the podcast or listening to it, make sure you write down or get the screenshot of these bets here for both Boston versus Philly and Denver versus Phoenix here. So like I said before, man, this is presented by Bet Us. Receive 125% sportsbook upon the bonus, the initial deposit. So the link is in the description for there, or just go to betus.com and do that as well. And I would, if you need a promo code, I can get a promo code as well. Just let me know and I can get that promo code for y'all. So shout out to Bet Us and shout out to Mac for giving us that knowledge for both games today for the NBA. So let's switch sports here and let's go into the NFL. I don't know if y'all saw some of the schedule has come out for the NFL and they have some key matchups for Thursday night. The international games has came out as well. What's up, Mitch? What's going on, Mitch? You know how he is. What's up, Mitch? What's going on, brother? And Leo said, I wish that they could allow sports betting. Yeah, because he's in California. They don't allow sports betting in California, unfortunately. So yeah. You muted, Ed. Oh.
They really I did have it muted for a second. They really don't have sports betting in California?
No. Nope.
That's interesting.
They don't have it in DC either, do they? I don't think they have it in DC.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about DC.
I'm not sure.
I'm not too sure about DC.
I see we starting off Monday night with the first game of the week, Detroit and Kansas City. You got Buffalo at New York. That's going to be 2 spicy games.
That's actually a Thursday night game. Lions and Chiefs is a Thursday night game.
That's going to be a spicy game because Detroit's going to come. Detroit hard hat. They got Dan Campbell, bite your knee off, guy. You feel me? So it's like shit. They're going to come out a little bit, aggressive. You know what I mean? They're explosive on offense. They had one of the highest scoring offenses last year. I think if they could show up some things on defense, especially in their secondary, I think that this could be a very interesting game for game one.
So a divisional game that I found interesting that I see is going to happen is the Bears-Packers week 1.
Is it week 1?
Yeah, Bears-Packers week 1.
Okay.
And that it's the Bears season opener at Soldier Field. So, I mean, I'm kind of interested in what those two offenses are going to look like. You got Justin Fields versus Love.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be interesting.
Is it going to be a defensive-led game, or is one of those offenses going to pop? And with DJ Moore with the Bears now, like hey, that gives them a nice little spark plug. So you wonder, how far has Justin Fields moved from last year?
Yeah.
And then looking at the Packers, how is Jordan Love going to play out?
He's been sitting for a long time, so it's like shit. If he's been sitting and learning,
I'm nervous.
He has tools from what he's shown.
Yeah,
that's what makes it really intriguing, and I think that's going to be one of the best week 1 games.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm kind of interested in the international games because we have 5 international games this year, and they are in different. They're in different spots. So even though I'm not really looking forward to this game, but this one is in London. In week 4, you have the Atlanta Falcons and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Of course, the Jacksonville Jaguars always travel overseas.
Yeah,
it never fails. They have 2 games overseas this year, to be exact.
They might be one of the few teams that they have been looking at going possibly moving to London or possibly moving overseas for a long time now.
Right.
From the reports that I've heard for the past couple of years, they've been really susceptible to Sean Khan and their ownership has been really looking for different places to play. Because Jacksonville, media market to get a lot of blacked out games and shit. So it's like,
I mean,
yeah,
bro, Jacksonville has a huge fan base over there.
they do.
Been over there
They do.
so many times, and they do great media over there.
Yeah.
So it's like because they're I wouldn't say like they're completely accessible, but they make themselves very accessible when they travel over there.
And I see why, because they have back-to-back games in London. They play the Falcons in week 4 and play the Bills in week 5 in London. They have back-to-back games in London.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know how much an edge that is? You get to stay in that time zone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And be completely comfortable. So, I mean, tell me that would not be a huge upset to see the Jaguars beat the Bills in London week 5.
Yeah, I think it's made. It's kind of made for that to be a spicy game. It's basically going to be practically a home game for them. It ain't a home game for Buffalo. That's for sure.
For sure.
It ain't a home game for Buffalo.
Oh man, so and it's really gonna matter who the Bills play on what was that, week 4?
Hey Bobby, according to Leo, according to NFL.com, both of them are in London. According to NFL.com, both of those games are in London. Not one is in Germany. They had 2 different stadiums because I know one is in Wembley in week 4, and the other one is in Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yeah, they're both in London though.
Both is in London.
Yeah, they're both in London.
Games are in London for that one. Then
I wonder how far apart
week 6. Your Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
is playing the Tennessee Titans in that same exact stadium in London in week 6.
Hey,
how do y'all feel about this? I have 2 Ravens fans on here.
So I hate traveling. I hate traveling.
Yeah.
But because I will say this, we have a lot of hatred towards Tennessee. Now, I think this goes all the way back to Eddie George, and I feel like over the 2019-2020 season, it brought all that back up.
Yeah, so I think we're going to dog them,
and I think we sock them in the mouth.
Yeah, I think we're going to dog them, especially because by the time week 6, one of the rookies, either rookie or Malik will probably be out there.
Might be the quarterback then.
That's it. If he ain't cut by then, if he ain't cut before the preseason over with, which has been this whole thing with Malik Willis has just been. I know he can't throw. I know you've seen the tape of him looking just dog awful throwing, but the fact that they drafted him, what was it, 3rd round last year, 2nd and 3rd round last year, and now they've replaced him with another 2nd and 3rd round player. Is like he still got Tannehill. It's like, what the hell is going on?
Your love is doo-doo juice. Doo-doo juice Packers are fucked.
I mean,
look, he's my job. You got to understand, he's a Patriots fan, so you gotta.
I get it. Yeah, I see the hate for the Ravens now.
We will remain relevant for another decade.
Yes, sir.
They'll eventually pick up another Super Bowl, and what in like 3-4 years, Belichick will finally retire, and then where are you guys going to be at for 30 years?
See. Look, I already know Bobby's already stressing already as a Boston fan. He's just stressing over there.
You better hope you can beat the Jets.
Basically.
Jets.
Oh, you rooting for the Jets, huh?
They still running Mac at quarterback. Shit, it might be it might be done. Mac Jones, I've never trusted him. We'll see what he do this year. I think he's going to be on a short leash. If they still have Zappy may take his spot in the preseason.
I'll be honest with you. I think what hindered Mac Jones last year, when you had Matt Patricia calling plays and he's a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's just idiotic.
That killed me last.
That's idiotic.
Who's your offensive coordinator? Where's Beantown at? Who's your offensive coordinator?
Yeah, that's idiotic.
Come on,
Bobby. Who's your OC in New England right now? Because I know Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia is back on the defensive side for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's a senior assistant over there for the Philadelphia Eagles now. So I don't know who your offensive coordinator is right now, but we do have the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs in week 9 in Germany, in Frankfurt, Germany.
I'll say this again. if Tua is playing, it's absolutely interesting. If Tua is not playing, man,
it's a dog show.
It's over.
I mean, because at the end of the day, they have the weapons that they can make any quarterback look halfway decent, but shit, they need Tua and his accuracy and his ability to hit the receiver in stride and shit. So it's like they need Tua. They need Tua unless they plan on trading for somebody or finding somebody, you know what I mean, UDFA or some shit, or somebody we don't know of. Skylar Thompson, can he throw really? We don't know. We don't really know. So it's like we'll see. He has to play though. He has to play for them to have a chance. If it's not Tua, they'll be ready for the lottery this year.
Bill O'Brien is the new OC because he was an offensive coordinator at Alabama. He left Alabama.
I like Bill O'Brien because he's always been a good OC as opposed to a head coach. He's always been a better play caller than a head coach to me.
Yeah, I think he coached Max Jones. I think he coached Max Jones last year before he got into the NFL. So
right,
it's some familiarity there.
Yeah, that works. That works. As long as Bill Belichick is out of the meeting room and he's staying the hell out of it, you feel me? He can make suggestions or whatever. But I think Bill has gotten to a little bit more power control lately. These past couple years with the departure of Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Without having that one guy that could be like, you know what I mean, the obvious leader of the offense. So it's like he's been kind of stepping into that role and it's been a little shitty. Obviously, his decision making has been questionable, to say the least, on their offense. Mac Jones has been looking like he's just fed up with the shit. So hopefully this year you get somebody he's familiar with, somebody he has a rapport with, and that can help him, you know what I mean, continue to grow. But I don't see it. Who are their wide receivers? Who they plan on starting at running back? I like Stevens, but they paid all that money for the tight ends. They haven't panned out.
They traded John New Smith, so they got Hunter Henry now.
So that was just a waste. That was a complete waste.
There's going to be 3 teams that are literally just gonna suck this year, and they're gonna suck, and they're gonna suck, and they're gonna hopefully lose as many games as they can. And I'm gonna say they're doing it on purpose, but we'll all know what the obvious is. But again, like I said, I think the Patriots might be one of those teams.
Yeah, the Patriots might be one of those teams that early, if they're out of it, they'll start to. Even though Bill probably isn't known to do that, but they'll wrap it up real quick. He will get that call from up top, Robert Kraft. Hey man, shut it down, shut everything down. Go get Hoyer, go bring Hoyer back, bring somebody old back, and just shut it down for the rest of the season.
Get rid of him because Hoyer's over here on the Las Vegas Raiders. Get rid of that old fart. Get rid of him. Because I don't want Jimmy Garoppolo going down. We gotta go with the 40-year-old version of Brian Hoyer. Absolutely not. No. Not goddamn back to Jimmy Garoppolo.
The Tennessee quarterback.
Was Ryan Tannehill?
No, Holden. No, the Tennessee College.
Oh, okay.
Hitting Hooker.
Hooker, there you go.
Yeah.
That's what we should have got, but I was doing a draft.
I thought you guys were going to go after him, especially when he was
honestly, I thought we was too. Because I was doing a live. I think Leo was on the live with me, and I had a few others on the live when I did the draft. It was Detroit, Houston, then us in the next 3 picks in the second round. I'm like, look, I would not be surprised. And I said this too, and I said, I would not be surprised the Lions is going to take Hendon Hooker. I would not be surprised. And that's exactly what they did. I said, God damn it. You know what? I spoke that shit into existence. I should have never said nothing. And then they probably would have passed up on him. Houston was going to pass up on him anyway because they got their quarterback in the first round.
Yeah.
Hendon Hooker was meant to land with the Las Vegas Raiders, but
nah, man. If the team wanted him, they needed to go get him.
Yeah.
That was it. That was it. I mean, like it was plain and simple. Like that's you don't wait for a quarterback. If you think that's
you go get your guy.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Detroit should have traded up and got him in the first round so they could have that 5th-year option. Because I think maybe not this year, but I think next year Goff is not there.
I think Goff.
I don't see how he plays this year.
Goff has been playing pretty solid in Detroit. He's got less pressure.
Like I said, I think Hooker sits behind Goff for a year because he can learn a lot from sitting there. But then the year after, you don't need Goff anymore because Hooker can then take over. Dan Campbell has built this team. He has rebuilt this team piece by piece by piece.
Yeah, he has.
Over the last,
he's done a great job. He's done a great job as a coach.
Better.
And this is why I said the Detroit Lions will win the NFC North. That's why I said it.
Yeah, that's easy. That's easy, bro. That's easy. Minnesota is not to be trusted, and you have two other teams that have major questions at quarterback. Even though Justin Fields showed that he can run, we don't know if he can throw, and we don't know what the hell Jordan Love can do at all. So it's like shit. We know what Kirk Cousins is. Family member Kirk Cousins. Like you said, as long as he ain't on prime time, how many prime time games they have? I can't wait till the schedule fully comes out.
Oh,
so we can see how many
how
many games they're going to lose, because we can count on those prime time games as almost as L's for them.
See, I'm on the fence with that one, because I'm like, I feel like the Bears could be sneaky good, depending on their schedule.
It's really depending on the quarterback play. He's got to play good.
Their schedule. I mean, they could be.
Well, actually, you can actually look at what teams are who playing.
You can see who they play, but it's not
let
win.
Let me see who they playing this year. Let me just look that up real quick, because you can actually look at who they playing, but the actual days and the weeks they don't have that out yet.
Yeah.
Here's, let me see here. I'm on my iPad right now, so. All right, so let's look at it here. All right, so I got the home games that they have. The home games that they have is they have Detroit at home. They have the Packers at home. They have Minnesota at home.
Play the division at home.
They have Arizona. They have Atlanta. They have Carolina, Denver, and the Raiders at home.
That's a solid schedule.
They're all winnable games. Outside of Oakland, which may be a little bit more competitive, all of those are winnable games.
But their second half, they have three teams that could probably be tough for them.
On the away tip?
Their away games are Cleveland, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Saints, Buccaneers, Commanders.
I mean,
outside of Kansas City, that's
Kansas City and the Chargers will be Kansas City Chargers, and possibly
those are losses.
What the New Orleans Saints would looks like, depending on what they look like, depending on what week they play them in, that might be the only three toughest games they have.
Yeah, on a away tip. Yeah, the rest of those games are highly winnable.
They can win that division. They could possibly win that division with 9 wins.
Yeah.
10 wins.
Yeah, because the way the season is now, you can win games. You could win with that division. You could definitely win with 10 wins there.
Because the Lions could just happen to have 2 bad games, and it could be right there for the Bears. Like that. That's what I'm saying. Like between those two teams, absolutely. I feel like the Vikings might come in and screw something up, but I'm not betting on the Vikings. Like I just
The Vikings defense, they have to work on this. They have to get their secondary together. It was old as shit last year. They have to really revamp their secondary, find some linebackers that can actually cover, you know what I mean, and get more out of their pass rush. Their pass rush kind of let them down last year, especially when it counted. When it counted, their pass rush was non-existent. And they spent a lot of money on Darius Smith. They spent a lot of money on Hunter over these years. So it's like, you got to produce. And Kirk Cousins, as much as we want to talk about him, in that game against the Giants, he objectively played good enough to win the game. Even though it was prime time, it was the first playoff game, they should have won that game with the way that he played. He played solid enough to win, but their defense.
If you look at the Lions' schedule, it's not too bad either. I mean, they got Kansas City, Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, Atlanta, Carolina, Denver, us, which is the Green Bay. Well, yeah, outside of the Packers, Bears, and Vikings, they play Kansas City, they play Atlanta, they play Carolina, they play Denver, they play Las Vegas, they play the Chargers, they play New Orleans, they play Tampa Bay, they play Baltimore, they play Dallas, and they play Seattle. Outside of the division.
Yeah. I mean, they have a tougher outside of the division game.
It's winnable games for both teams if you look at it.
Yeah. Those games in like Boston and Seattle, Baltimore and Seattle are going to be kind of tough for them as far as traveling, especially if there's the 12th man in Seattle. It's going to be rough.
Bobby, I know, Bobby. You know what? Leave me alone, Bobby. I understand.
You got a bad voice there.
I understand. And this is why I say the Las Vegas Raiders need to go out and get depth at the line. We need to get depth at the offensive
Wow.
line so we can protect this man. Jesus Christ, my God.
Yeah, y'all have to protect him, bro. Because if y'all don't protect Jimmy G, it's not going to work. Y'all not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere fast if you don't protect Jimmy G. You have to, and y'all have to run block as well because you have to give Jacobs the damn ball.
Who did you guys pick up on offense?
So on offense, we picked up Austin Hooper as a tight end. We drafted Michael Mayer, which is the best tight end in the draft this past year.
Right.
We got Jacoby Myers. Outside of Devontae Adams, we still have Josh Jacobs. We still have Hunter Renfrow.
That offense could be explosive if they protect.
The offense could be explosive.
Who's blocking?
So we have. So as far as the offensive line, we still got Andre James at center, which I hate because I think he gets bullied every time. In my opinion,
he's a bit small.
We still have Colton Miller as our left tackle.
Yeah, solid.
I think on the right side is Jermaine Illuminor, and
he's been kind of hit or miss.
Jermaine Illuminor and Brandon. No, we got Dylan Parham in the draft last year, so it's Colton Miller, Dylan Parham, Andre James. It's really that right guard position that we have an issue with, and then Illuminor is that right tackle. We got to go get somebody at right guard because that's where we've been our weakness at. Center and right guard has been our weakness.
Yeah. Y'all been getting bullied in the run game. As far as run game, Jacobs is going to make something work despite the old line because he's a solid back. But that pass blocking,
we have a good offensive line when it comes to running the football.
Yeah, for sure.
Passing, hell no.
Passing, no. Yeah, and Jimmy G
be the big problem right there.
Yeah, he's slightly more athletic than
our biggest problem is defense, bro. Our biggest problem is
defense.
If you look at the last 20 years for the Las Vegas Raiders, we have not been top 15 in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's sad. That's almost impossible to do. Like, there's been no type of to be progressive on that side of the ball, despite the amount of coordinators, the high draft picks, the high name free agents and shit.
I mean,
Mac being there.
That's what ruined your defense. What was that like 2015, 2016, 2017? Y'all just kept signing veterans.
Yeah, Alden Smith.
Because at that time, the Raiders was known for, we need to go out and get every veteran instead of going out and getting young players and learning that you have to balance it out. You need young guys in the draft mixed in with vet players, but you don't want to get vet players that's out their prime. And that's the problem with the Raiders organization. We was getting players out their prime. And then we get the veteran players that was in their prime. They just didn't fit in the scheme that they wasn't with the previous team. Like, for example, when we had Corey Littleton was a more coverage linebacker, but he could not cover in the scheme when we had Paul Gunther as the goddamn defensive coordinator, which was one of the worst that we really had, in my opinion. So yeah, that draft with Gruden and Mayock kind of killed us with the Cleaner Farrell and the Jonathan Abram and the Damon Arnett. And I'm a depressed Raiders fan, man. I'm tired of rebuilding.
The rebuilding, y'all have been perpetually rebuilding for about 15 years, as you said. It's like it has to come to a head at one point. It has to stop. Y'all need consistency, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Like, it's been a revolving door.
It's not even our front four. That's the crazy part.
The front four's been solid.
Outside of our edge rushers, our D tackles could be a little bit better, but we never had real linebackers because what Mike Mayock used to do is draft safeties and make them linebackers like Devon Diablo. I hated that shit. I thought that was dumb as hell. So and then Alex Leatherwood. When I'm gonna send y'all the video on my other channel when I got the reaction for Alex Leatherwood at 17 in the first round, when this guy was projected to be a second and third round, and we got him at 17 in the first round. Oh, I went off, y'all. I went off. So Alex Leatherwood stinks, man. And that's why see, here you go with this tuck rule shit. Here you go, Bobby. Stay right there. Stay right there, Bobby. Stay right there. Matter of fact, say thank you to Jacoby Myers for the Chandler Jones interception last year. Thank you for that.
Jesus, because that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a football game. I've ever seen.
Video too. Y'all should see my reaction to that.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a football game in history. That was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Why are you trying to ladder it back to your quarterback Where the fuck is he going?
Oh, what makes it so stupid is they had 2 seconds left on the clock and they got in the field goal range and
tied
didn't go
up.
out of bounds. That's what made it so stupid.
Extra stupid. It means
You was you got the first down. You was in field goal range with 2 seconds left. You could have went out of bounds. But Stevenson wants to throw it back to Myers, and Myers going to throw it to Chandler Jones.
What the fuck was Myers doing? And he just stiff armed the shit out of Mac. Get the hell out of here! Stiff arm Mac Jones touchdown. I'm looking like Mac. You can't get him down. Don't. Everybody's compounding the fuck up. You compounded the fuck up. I'm flicking it to him, and then he turns around and flick it 30 yards back, and you can't even get him on the damn ground. Shit was just. It was a shame. It was appalling. I shared it multiple times to my brother, to different groups I was in. It was just ridiculous. So I don't know. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Personally.
I think some other things that we have up here for the schedule as well. As far as I think we talked about Black Friday. We heard about the Jets and what was it? The Jets in Miami for Black Friday, which I thought is stupid.
Yeah, it's trash.
I think that's stupid. They did announce some teams. The NFL schedule release: Dolphins, Jets, 49ers, Eagles, Giants, Eagles, Bengals, Chiefs matchups was announced. So the first ever Black Friday game is Miami and Jets, and then they have.
Is there a Super Bowl rematch?
Yeah, there's a Super Bowl rematch week 13. No, actually, no. I know. Is it? Let me see. No, it's the NFC. It's the NFC championship rematch. 49ers Eagles week 13, December 3rd.
Okay. I heard the Chiefs declined to play somebody in one of those international games. Like they wanted to play international, but they didn't want to play the team that they were playing or something like that. I think I saw that on the Pat McAfee show or something. The Chiefs denied they were scheduled to play one team and they denied to play that team. They wanted to play whoever they were playing on the holiday tip, whoever it is. I have to look it up.
Because I know Eagles and Giants play Christmas Day.
Right.
Eagles and Giants play Christmas on December 25th. And then you have week 17, Bengals in Kansas City. Right before the playoffs. That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Because that'll be for some seeding right there. Somebody's season or seeding can be fucked up at that point. Because I even though I'm a hardcore Ravens fan, I have to respect the teams to show them respect. The Bengals are a solid team for what it's worth. They have been a solid team. They've been our number one competitor in this division right now for the past couple of years. The Steelers and Browns are nothing to be scared of. This Bengals team has been giving us headaches, especially their wide receiver core.
Hate them.
Their wide receiver core has been giving us headaches, bro.
I tell you what, listen to me. I hate Bengals.
Yeah, I hate the Bengals.
And Steelers most of the time.
I don't know if I've reached that point yet, but I'm almost there.
I have.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Listen. After 3 years of Andy Dalton splicing our ass wide the fuck open, and then what was it? Year 2 of Burrow killing us. I was, you know what? Nah. Because it hurts worse than the Browns with a quarterback they've had for less than a week coming in and killing us for 300 yards.
I think, and not to switch back, but I think what it was that the Chiefs were supposed to play the Bears in Germany, and they canceled it. They didn't want to play the Bears. They wanted to play a different team. Who are they supposed to be playing in Germany now? Those matches have gotten switched.
So
now the Chiefs are playing. They play in Miami now.
They play in Miami
the Bears,
now.
Right? They said that they want the Chiefs didn't want to play the Bears. They wanted to play a better team.
I'm surprised about that because every team, it's like usually we play division versus divisions. Like the AFC West has the whole NFC North. So I'm kind of confused. Like the Chiefs are allowed to do that. Like I don't say they're the Super Bowl champions, but damn.
They said I'm looking at it right here on the Pat McAfee said that they refused to play the Bears, allegedly. So the game got canceled and they switched it to the Chiefs playing the Dolphins in London. In Germany.
What makes that a better difference? Because both teams is not great right now.
Yeah, but that's a more of an appealing matchup than the Bears, I think, because the Bears are still up and coming. They're still rebuilding.
We'll see.
The Dolphins have a question
by that time the Chiefs play. Let's see.
Yeah, but they still have explosive players. They have marketable players. They have Tyreek Hill. They have Jalen Waddle. They have people they can market. The Bears don't really have too many marketable players.
The Dolphins have Stanton as the backup, right? Stanton is the backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're totally lost, but I wouldn't exactly be getting my popcorn ready to see it.
Right.
No, me neither.
Right.
I mean,
So-
he played good last year.
Yeah,
But-
Exactly.
he did.
Yeah, he did play good last year. Agreed. Absolutely agree. He did play good last year. But I'm looking forward to the full schedule coming out and see when my Las Vegas Raiders play the New York Giants. I definitely want to see that because they say that we got the Giants at home and Waller comes back to Las Vegas after being traded. So I want to see that storyline there. And I'm looking forward to a few. I mean, when it comes to y'all hate the Bengals and y'all hate the Steelers.
I don't
me,
think Saquon's there. So what's going on in New York?
Well, as of right now, as far as Josh Jacobs, as far as Saquon Barkley, we have not heard any real true contract talks for both of them at this moment.
And so the running backs that got paid last year has really kind of fucked up the market because it was a lot of low end, lesser name running backs, and the market is just for running backs has just been out of whack, and they're not going to be getting 30, 45, 50 million as they expected. Teams have found that they have been getting production.
Money is what they looking at. I think
but
and you know who started that?
It's
though?
hard.
That was Christian McCaffrey when he got 16 million guaranteed. When he got that, and then he fell off after getting that 16 million guaranteed.
It kind of scared
Josh Jacobs had the year that he had last year. Saquon Barkley, both of them was top 5 in rushing, and they were both top 5 in all-purpose yards. I see why Saquon and Jacobs is asking for that. If they're asking that, I don't think they're asking for more than 16, but they want something near 16.
Yeah, because what did Miles get? What did Miles Sanders get last year? Did he get paid, or was it the year before?
No, he didn't get paid because he was a free agent. They let him walk. He's a Panther.
Yeah. What I was saying, how much did he get paid for the Panthers? How much did the Panthers pay him? Did he pay him like 10? Did he get 10 a season? If that? Super Bowl, Pro Bowl,
if he's getting 10 a season, then something ain't right here. If he's getting 10 a season, because he was running back by committee in Philadelphia.
Right. I agree. It should have been more committee than him, but he was a Pro Bowl player last year. He had over 1,000 yards. He catches the ball in the backfield.
Guys that carry their team in a certain way.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs definitely carried the Raiders for a couple years in his own way. And Saquon Barkley has definitely
carried him.
Saquon, it's just his injury history that would scare me as far as paying him. I
pay him. I'd pay him to come to the Ravens right now.
I mean, that's different. I mean, it's a committee here.
Wait, hold up. So I see why Barkley and Josh Jacobs is feeling the way they feel about their contract. 4 years, $25.4 million for
he got about 10, 11 a year.
13 guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot for Miles Sanders. But Miles Sanders, like you say, it was 4 years for only 20-something mil. And the 13 is guaranteed. So he's really only playing for about like 3, 4, 5 a year. That's tough.
So
he just made the Pro Bowl list.
At signing bonus, he's getting 5.9 million, and the average salary is 6.3. This is called the spot track.
He just made the Pro Bowl last year. He went to the Super Bowl, and that's the best contract a Pro Bowl, Super Bowl running back can get. And do you got
as of right now, he's getting more than Jacobs and Saquon when Miles Sanders wasn't even the top 5 running back in rushing yards.
Times a game?
Huh?
Was he carrying it 20 plus times a game?
No, not in that offense.
So he's not worth 13. He's not worth $13 million.
Jacobs and Barkley, they toting that rock 20 times a game.
Yeah, but like I say, teams will look at it and say, shit. If we can get a good committee of backs, then why would we pay all this money to one and still have to get other backups, solid backups? Because in the case of Saquon, his injury history would suggest that you have to have a solid backup.
See the difference.
Well, I mean, it's true too.
The difference between Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs still was doing his thing with a running back committee that we had. We still had Amir Abdullah. We still had Zeus. We still had we still had other running backs that could come in and do things, but the way Josh McDaniels had it, he had Josh Jacobs running the ball more. But he did get his breather. But we really don't have Saquon doesn't really have a backup in New York that could come in and give him a breather. So it's really a difference. But
Yeah.
They both almost carry the same amount of a load, but Josh Jacobs do have backups.
That's why I
that can
want the
carry the
Ravens
ball,
to go get him. Let the Ravens go bring Saquon over here. Jesus. Woo!
It depends how much you're willing to pay him.
Yeah.
It depends how much you're willing to pay him too. Because like for me, I'm gonna be honest, paying Odell Beckham $18 million and you're kind of uncertain with him. I was kind of nervous about when y'all gave him that contract for $18 million.
We pretty much gave him a big ass signing bonus.
Yeah, it's a flyer. It's a signing bonus flyer. It doesn't really affect the cap too much. You feel me? In the long haul, so it's like it's okay. We had a lot of free money. You know, some of the players that we got rid of in Chuck Clark and Calais Campbell. A few other contracts that came out the book. So it's like, you know, we had some money to play with and to spend in an area of desperate need because running it back with the same receivers wasn't going to work. So we had to do something.
The fact that we now have Lamar Jackson's contract
secured.
Have it done. We know what our cap space is. Like right now, I think we're playing with close to about 16 million.
Yeah. So we're pretty good.
We're moving and shuffling things.
Yeah.
But that's close to 16 million if we move and cut a couple guys and clear up some space. Which I mean, I see us doing sometime before the end of June anyway.
It was Miles Sanders. This was kind of like Miles Sanders' best year in Philly. You know, he had 259 carries for 1,269 yards and 11 TDs.
Right. I mean, he catches the ball too. I mean, receiving yards he had.
So as far as the receiving yards he had in the 17 games, he only had 20 receptions for 20 receptions on 26 targets for 78 yards. So this was his down year in receiving because the year before he had 26. Well, actually in 2019 he had 50 receptions for 509 yards in 2019.
He's shown the ability
down
to
to 28, then it went down to 26, and then last year went down to 20.
Yeah, last year, I mean, they had more weapons on the offensive side of the ball to throw to. So it's like they didn't have to rely on that as much, but you know what I mean? He's shown the ability. Yeah.
He has more carries than he has receptions. So 2019 he had 179 carries. 2020 he had 164. 2021 had 137. Then last year he had 259. So there was more run heavy.
Right.
Last year than him catching the ball.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. I like that for them. I mean, you know, like I say, the running back market has always fluctuated for years. It's always been a little bit, you know what I mean, hit or miss. And now with these teams leaning more towards committees, it's like they're not looking unless you're super elite and just a game changer at back and healthy. It's like they're not breaking their neck to pay you $15 million a season.
I just feel like what they could have did with Jacobs, and I think they should never picked up his 5th-year option. I understand the injury stuff, but if you look at his numbers, he always put up good numbers when it comes to Josh Jacobs. And then he was like, okay, you're going to pick up my 5th-year option. This is why I knew he was going to be a good year. He was like, I'm going to play in a Hall of Fame game, in a preseason game. Knowing starters don't play in Hall of Fame games at all.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see the starters at all. But he was like, you know what? I'm going to play in a Hall of Fame game. I'm going to prove to you that I'm worth my 5th-year option. I'm worth the money. And he did that all year. So Raiders got to get it done. If you want to pay Jimmy Garoppolo this money the way you paid him, now you got to pay your running back. Bro, what is going on with your camera? Oh, your camera's back now. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I had turned it off real quick.
It looked like an antenna TV real quick. It was like all awkwardly flowing and stuff. Like, what is going on?
The shit, it always acting a little funny sometimes. But yeah, I had an alert for work, and I'm not at work, so it's like I'm on paid leave right now. So yeah.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah.
When you get an alert.
Bro.
Man, I'm on paid leave. Leave me alone. Don't send me
nothing. I forget about the work alerts. I have to start turning off. Like, it say work at 2:10. I'm like, I ain't going to damn work. I'm on paid leave for another 3-4 weeks.
Just leave me alone. Just
leave me alone
at this moment, you know.
Yeah.
But anything else y'all want to say before we head out of here, man? Because, you know, NFL schedule is going to come out officially tonight. I'm not going to be able to go live for it, Lee. I understand we do the Nothing But Raiders podcast, but I'll be doing the 76ers and doing the Suns and Nuggets game tonight. So, anything else y'all want to say before we head out of here?
Let's go Boston.
Let's root for good games tonight. That's all I'm rooting for. Good, solid, competitive games.
Dude,
root for good games tonight because I'm going to tell you now, even though the Lakers and the Warriors game was like the Warriors had it in the bag from the game from when we
It was
watched
still
it.
competitive. It was
26,000
relatively
views on
competitive.
that. 26,000 views on their live, y'all. 26,000
Right.
views. So let's make sure we had some good games tonight too, because Miami was a great game yesterday too. Until Miami fell apart in the fourth quarter. So another story,
Right.
another time there.
Right.
But episode 19 is definitely in the book, y'all. Make sure y'all go follow, comment, like, and subscribe to the Darion Hopkins Show. Make sure y'all go to Bet Us. The link is in the description. If you want to use the promo code for SeatGeek, make sure you use it for D Hopkins. That's the promo code if you want to go to any live event, any NFL game, basketball, any live event, concert, anything you want to go to that's live event wise. Go to SeatGeek.com and use the promo code D Hopkins and get your first $20 off your first purchase there. So, yeah, let's go Philly. You know what, Leo? You're a Lakers fan. You saying let's go Philly because he want to see Philly in LA in the finals. That's what he want to see. I don't know about that. I'm not going to go that far yet. I'm not going to go that far.
And as a Laker fan,
I hope Anthony Davis is ready for that.
I'm telling you, as a Laker fan, from where we have came from to start the season, I am completely content with what we have done so far. Obviously we want more, but where we have came from and where we are now, I am content.
I'm not saying nothing about the Lakers or Philly in the finals right now. I'm just not, because I don't want to jinx it. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut until it actually happens. Because when I talk it and I speak it to an existence, then the Sixers look like shit. I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
So make sure y'all, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will be live for both games tonight, so make sure y'all come back through here. And we'll be back tomorrow's Friday. So the first week of having the crew on here is definitely going to be in the book for the 20th episode of the Darion Hopkins Show. That's gonna be a dope episode for y'all, like we did today. So we see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Y'all know where to find us at, right here on the Darion Hopkins Show. Comment, like, and subscribe.
Purple Friday, yes sir. Purple Friday, purpled out. You'll see it tomorrow.
I'm pulling out a throwback.
Oh, so listen, hold on. We want to throw out. Are we throwing out throwback football or throwback basketball before we head out of here?
Football.
I got a few shirts.
I got throwback jerseys. I got the throwback jerseys.
I got a few championship Baltimore Ravens shirts that I can stun out with a little bit.
Can I wear my custom Raiders jersey? Shout out to Leo for the custom Raiders jersey.
It's official.
Jersey,
it's official. You paying for it? Shit, it ain't no replica.
It got my name on the back. I'm a Las Vegas Raider.
They official jerseys to me. Shit, they come from the NFL. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Josh McDaniels, sign me right now. Damn it, sign me right now.
One topic we gotta have tomorrow, right? We gotta have who's gonna win what division, our division champions, right? And our Super Bowl picks.
Yeah. Super early. Super early.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna write that down on the iPad.
The first wave of free agency. We're through the draft. We got a good idea of what these teams are gonna look like. Let's do some homework tonight.
Let's go.
And I mean, come on, man. It's essentially you picking 6 teams. Pick 6 teams.
Facts. Okay, say no more. We'll definitely do that. So y'all got a preview about what it is. And sorry, Boog, that you had to leave, bro. But like I said, Jalen Ramsey is not the greatest to ever do it. Simple as that.
Yeah. Sorry.
But we'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on the Darion Hopkins Show. We out of here, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.